Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. 202 your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We will get our Beat the Streak contestant on the line for our Beat the Streak contest. We're not going to do a lineup game because the lineup has been out for a while, but we could do a home run derby pick today.
Yeah.
If you want to do that. If you guys are ready, we can do the home run derby right now if you want. Marshy?
Let's go, I guess.
Marshy doesn't like it.
Nope.
He hesitated. Didn't like it.
I just surprised him with it.
Have to find the lineup.
I don't believe what I just saw. Home run.
And Marsh is actually first. He's leading this.
Okay, Marshy.
It's tough for me to pull up all this stuff real quick.
Hey, Marsh, you're doing great.
Just give me Nolan Arenado.
He's not in the lineup. No.
Off the bench then.
Yeah. You want him off the bench?
Sure.
No, you don't. Hold
No,
on.
Marshy.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Let's do this. Let's pause. I threw Marsh off. He's leading right now. I don't want to screw him up. So let's all pause here. Let's take a breath. All right. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything.
It'll all work itself out.
Give me Jordan Walker.
There you go.
What? That's what I wanted. He's batting fifth today, fellas.
I'm trying to find the
Moving him
lineup.
on up. Here you go, Jamie. There you go. Can you see that? I'll assist.
All right.
You got to speak into the mic, though.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to take it from you, though. I'll go with Ivan Herrera.
Okay. That's my next pick. Batting cleanup. Yeah, I got to win. The only way I can do that is off the bench. Give me Matt Carpenter.
Wow.
Got to run into one at some point, and he's probably going to play. I mean, we're coming up on, his last opportunities in a Cardinal uniform. What better way to end his time
There you go.
as a Redbird
Then right now.
right now?
I don't think that Nolan Arenado will come off the bench today, but I too just need a bench bat, and it's either Ciani or Arenado. I don't know why Ciani would come off the bench, so just give me Nolan Arenado then.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's been a rough home run derby year.
It really has. This has been very difficult. My first time doing this with you all.
Yeah.
I don't know what the leading person had last year. Do y'all remember?
Jamie and I were tied going into the playoffs, and then we tried to do the thing where we just pick like somebody hit a home run during one of the playoff games. I don't know. We just picked one, and it went to the final game of the World Series, and we had a draft. We picked all the players.
Okay.
Every player was available. Yeah, and Jamie wound up holding the ticket at the end. So it was a bit of a mess. All right. Today, Kyle Freeland versus Kyle Gibson. Freeland has been very good of late. Over his last 5 starts, his ERA is excellent, and Kyle Gibson has been solid pretty much all season, but he's been very good over his last 5. Masyn Winn, Lars Nootbaar, Paul Goldschmidt, Ivan Herrera, Jordan Walker, Thomas Ajacey, Pedro Pajes, Jose Fermin, and Victor Scott is your lineup today for the Cardinals. They go for the sweep. Now, guys, they guaranteed with the last night's win that they will not have a losing season.
Yeah. There we go. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Yep.
They need one more win to guarantee a winning season. Ooh. Yeah. How you guys feel about that? You guys good with that? It's a winning season.
Actually, no.
Okay.
It kind of makes me feel gross.
A little bit, yeah.
Because I'm like, it's a winning season, but then I feel like...
A little hollow.
You idiot. Look what this season has been.
Yeah.
You can't celebrate that.
No. They will probably.
Here's the problem.
For sure.
Front office.
Well, 10 years from now, say, hey, it was a winning season.
Winning season.
You win 10 to 12 more games than you did the year before. Is that not progress in the right direction? Are you not proud of what you've done when you add potentially 10 to 12 more victories onto your record from the year before? Are you not proud of that?
Carey, unlike you, I'm not proud of that.
Why not?
No, just not.
The goal in the offseason was to get better. Did they get better?
Sure.
Okay. mission accomplished. I don't like how you
You're
all are
easily
complaining.
satisfied, aren't you?
Very. You have no idea.
He's a simple man.
I heard.
Very simple.
All right,
Don't need much.
we got Brian on the line for Beat the Streak, so let's play Beat the Streak before the Cardinals game.
I want to hit baseballs.
All of my successes depend on me.
You ready to hit?
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
First pitch from Coors Field is at 2:10, so that's why we're jamming all this in the opening segment here. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Nice job again last night. Marsh, what's our latest standing or streaks?
All right, Carey has a streak of 5. Jamie has a streak of 2. I have a streak of 3. Brian's got a streak of 2. And Anthony have a streak of 1.
All right, CD.
I'm going with the shortstop, Ezekiel Tovar.
Yep.
Not the other.
Jamie.
I, too, will go with a shortstop. Masyn Winn.
Marsh.
Double down. I'll just give me Jordan Walker.
Brian.
I guess I'm going to go with Goldie. Took my shortstops.
Okay. All right, fair. I will take... give me Ryan McMahon. I'll take McMahon. All right, Brian, good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. See you.
I think this is our second to last Beat the Streak, right? Season wraps up this weekend. Mm-hmm. Second to last home run derby.
Ever?
This thing's, well, no, not ever.
Oh, okay.
Until next April.
Yeah.
Yeah, so winning season on the line today for the Cardinals. They don't get it done, but if they don't get it done today, they've got 3 more against the Giants over the weekend. They'll be set.
Get her done.
Yeah. Where do you guys think the Cardinals should be in the standings if they let the young guys play in April? Do you think it would have made that much of a difference? Do you think today we'd be talking about the Cardinals being at least more in the wild card mix than they have been over the last month or so?
I think it probably would have been almost a mirror image of what they are. Because you would have had peaks and valleys with the young guys. This is just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like it would have almost been the exact same type of season.
Yeah.
Where you had, that 1 month of like really hot baseball, then they were really bad. And it's like just kind of all over the place. I think it'd be the same.
I agree with that. With that being said, you would be in a better place for 2025 than you are right now for 2025.
Totally agree with that.
Like you would have had, and we talked about that during the season, you probably end up with around the same record. This notion that they were going to make a push and going to make the playoffs, I think the writing was on the wall at the All-Star break or right before the trade deadline. Like you knew. And people kept talking about, well, Mother's Day. They did. Hey, Mother's Day. What about Mother's Day? We talked about that ad nauseum. Like, I got so sick of it. But Mother's Day, it's the best day. Mom, I love you. You're the best. But we talked about that for the Cardinals and how that was the pinpoint of when they actually turned things around. And then they kind of reverted back to essentially who they were up until that point and from that point on. And so had you allowed the younger players to play, you would definitely be in a better place for next year, and maybe even, because one of the things we weren't seeing was hitting with runners in scoring position. They've been doing that a little bit better, so maybe be even better than they were. Playoff team, I don't know, but better for 2025.
Carey, something that you said that I really agree with. It's kind of a microcosm of the Cardinals' problems. It's really understanding who they are. And where they are, quite frankly, as an organization. So back in August, they could have made the decision. Say, hey, we're in the mix, but it's kind of a fraudulent. It's surface level in the mix. Why don't we start to prepare for next season by getting a better look at some of these younger guys? And they could have made some wholesale changes. They may have had to eat some money. They may have had to DFA some guys. They may have had difficult conversations with certain players to either send them into the bullpen or accept bench roles, but they didn't. I think part of the reason why they didn't is the facade that they continue to show with the fan base. Hey, we're still in it. We're still trying. Don't you like us? And the fans aren't stupid. They know that you weren't really in it. Like, you were in it, but you weren't really in it. So they cut off their nose to spite their face. This is kind of a microcosm of the issue here. They're not really self-aware as an organization. So Jamie, I think you're right. You would have had the peaks and valleys with the young guys. you probably are 81 and 77 regardless of who you played.
Yep.
But that's not really the point. The point would be we know who we are. We know that this team isn't good enough, and we might as well get a long look at some of these young guys. And you may have caught lightning in a bottle. You may have. You may have gone on a great streak.
You may have, because that youthful energy, and
Sure.
like, who knows?
Yeah. So you forewent or foregone the opportunity to give the young guys more of a runway and to catch lightning in a bottle by continuing this facade with the fan base. And now here we are, talking about the Cardinals, 81 and 77. And the best they can do is finish with a winning season.
But they can do that.
Yeah, they can. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Should college athletes get the same type of scrutiny as professionals because of NIL? We're seeing more fan bases in college sports, college football specifically, that are booing the young guys. And on some hands, it's like, hey, why are you booing kids? On the other, it's like, well, because the kids are making professional money. Jamie, Carey, got some thoughts on this? That's next on 101 ESPN. then on 101 ESPN. So kind of an interesting article by The Athletic talking about whether or not it's okay to boo college athletes in the NIL era with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, James Rivers, Anthony Stalter. The article kind of focused on DJ Uiagalelei.
There you go.
Kind of.
Bless you.
DJ Uiagalelei.
What did you just call Carey?
No, you can't. Yeah.
No, nothing.
He's called me worse. You heard
CD.
it.
DJ Uiagalelei.
There you go.
Ish. He transferred he was the quarterback that went from Clemson to Oregon State, then transferred to Florida State. Florida State obviously having a disastrous season. He has not played well. And again, the article kind of centers on Florida State fans basically booing him pregame. Where are you guys on this? Because in some respects it's still kids. Yet it's kids making anywhere from 100K to a million.
I will. In college, when I was in college, which was just 20 years ago now, we got booed. And I did almost go to the stands and ask a grown man, excuse me. Like but it happens. Like, people are passionate about their sports teams. And I think you have such high hopes for Florida State, the way that they finished last year, the way that all of last year went until they didn't make the college football playoffs, not the last game, but up until that point. They had high hopes, and they had high hopes of what this year would look like, and there's a level of frustration. I think it teaches you as a young player, regardless, you know you are playing a sport. You know that there are fans that are paying to watch your performance. You know that you are expected to play at a high level, a high enough level to where you can win games. So I personally don't have a problem with it, whether or not they're being paid. Now they are, not all of them, but most of them are being paid and being paid pretty well. You know, the expectation is to perform well, at least not lay down. Like, if you're going to get beat, be beaten because you are working hard and the other team is just better than you. But when you get beat and it feels like the team just laid down, no effort, no energy, no hard work, none of those things, then there's a level of frustration. So I don't personally have a problem with fans booing, because I know that the expectation is for your team to win. That's what you hope.
Yeah, for me, the moment people have to pay to watch you play a sport, they have free reign. Like, if it's high school, they got to pay like $10 or whatever to get in. Like, you cheer for your team, you boo the other team, you boo. Is it right? Probably not in some cases, because some kids are, they're children. But I remember when I left home to go play junior hockey at 15 years old, like, people were throwing drinks on us. Like, for one lady, we had this home and home with a team in North Bay. It's about an hour and a half from Sudbury. And on the Thursday night, there were some things that happened on the ice. And then we played them Saturday in North Bay. And some of the fan base was not thrilled with me at that time, like their fans. And I was taping my stick before the game, and a little old lady comes up in her North Bay stuff, cute as can be. She goes, "I hope you die tonight."
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am.
That's exactly what I said. I go, "Thank you very much. I appreciate that." What are you going to say?
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Hopefully I don't.
But
not that night.
Should have spun around and said, "Ma'am, I think my odds are better than your odds."
No, I was so caught off guard that I was just like, "Okay, thank you." Like, what do you say to that? But so, look, that's extreme, obviously. But these college kids, most of them are adults. You got to be over 18 years old. Pretty much. Unless a couple of kids, the rogue 17-year-old that's in there.
Right.
But 18 years old, just deal with it, man. Mm-hmm. Block it out. Who cares?
Right.
I agree. I think high school for me is a bit much. Like, if your Uncle Johnny is booing you and you're on my team, I'm going to turn around and tell him to shut the fast lane up. Like, right. I have done it. Like, hey, this is a kid. He might be your kid, but when he's on the field, he's mine. So we're not going to disrespect these young men that are trying to work their butts off. They're not pros. But at the collegiate level, again, when you have people that are showing up, the amount of practice, the amount of work that you put in at the collegiate level, the amount of hours that you go over the film, it's preparation for if you are able to make it to the next level, because it's just showing you what that work looks like. There's a lot of practice and a lot of preparation, and then when you go out there and don't perform at the level, people become frustrated, and they're going to boo.
Well, and half the stadium most of the time are your peers, right? If you're a player, half the stadium is full of people that you're going to school with.
True.
So, I think it's interesting when you think about adults booing like 20-year-olds or 21, whatever the age is of the athlete. But for the most part, a lot of these people that are booing are the same age as you.
Right.
So, and now when you look at like what Tennessee's doing, they're adding more money to tickets. Yeah, like these players are not professionals. Bottom line, they're professionals now because your money is going into their pocket essentially.
Right.
I mean, not really, but
yeah.
Well, in Tennessee's case, it is.
It is, yeah. So I ultimately I agree with you guys. Like, hey, try be mentally tough, block it out, whatever. I have more of a. I've never booed at a game ever, not once. I don't feel compelled to. I might be frustrated. I might send you guys some texts about Kirky Cousins. I would never boo him.
Yeah,
like I just feel like it's lame.
Can you boo the other team though?
I just don't boo. I've never felt compelled to boo. Like, I've never. To me, it's lame. It's stupid.
Are you more of a guy that would give like an opposing pitcher a standing ovation once he's done?
No, I think that would probably be more my speed. Yeah. Like the pitcher finally got it. It's been an hour, and I've had 3 cold ones, and the guy finally gets out of the inning, and I might stand up and you did it, champ. Like I may go the passive aggressive route. I'm not saying that's any better or more mature, but when you're talking about adults, now Marsh, I know what you're saying. Student section, right? They're booing you, whatever. To me, in my opinion, you're lame. An adult doing that to a kid, whether it's high school, especially in high school, but in college too, like let's be adults here. Come on, what are we doing?
Well, everybody does not have that level of what's the word I'm looking for? Just not that level of intelligence or that level of maturity. Correct. Like they are not able to control or contain themselves. I remember I took my son to a Houston Rockets versus the Golden State Warriors game. This was probably 5 years ago. He's about 7. And there's a guy and his son in front of us. The kid was about 9 or 10. And I'm listening to this father and this son, and the things that they are saying about the Golden State Warriors. And my son is like, he's emotional. He's like, why are they so rude? Why are they saying things like that? I said, son, just don't worry about it. Because at the end, Golden State won, and now the kid is crying, and I'm like, see what I told you? Like, you got to control yourself. It's like, it's peaks and valleys. So now, you understand it's just things happen, and people are rude. People do say things, and they do get frustrated. But as a collegiate athlete and as a professional athlete, you have to learn how to control a lot of those things. I don't know about you, Jamie, but it got to the point where people would say, I could hear people screaming my name and I would literally ignore it. Like it was like white noise because it's like, I don't know what you want. Yeah. I don't know why you're calling me. You don't want it. You might be being polite. You might be being rude. I don't know, but it's nothing. I don't even hear it at this point. Yeah. And so I think it's probably carried on in life after that, which is not always good, but it worked for me then.
Yeah. I always blocked it out. Didn't bother me.
So you said that you think booing is lame in a sense. How else as a fan, though, do you let the team or the front office or whatever it is, how do you let them know that you're frustrated with the product on the field or on the ice? Like, how else do you do that? Because I don't know if, these players or these, the staff or whatever, I don't know if they're scrolling Twitter and looking at their mentions or any of that because I feel like that's a little bit worse for your psyche. But how else as a fan do you let everybody know, hey, I'm not really happy about what I'm seeing right now?
To me, it's a good question. To me, it's the same as I would do at a restaurant that has either, that I once liked and has gone downhill, or I just had a bad experience in. You're not going to get my money. I'm not going to boo you. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to write a review. I'm not going to go to your establishment. You don't get my money. You have not earned my money. So to me, it's just like a major league team. Now, if it's the Cardinals and I pay, I'm bringing the kids and we're just going to a baseball game, right? Okay, you get me once. But if your product stinks, I'm not going back.
Yeah,
I'm not. I can invest. Things are so expensive these days that I'm gonna try to be wise about my money. And if the product sucks, man, you're not gonna get my money. But I'm certainly not gonna boo. It's like the people that stand outside with the pickets, the
picket fence.
Well, not the strikes. I'm more talking about like
just like demonstrators.
Yeah, protesters. Yeah, right. Like they literally put their heart and soul into a piece of cardboard, and then drove that thing to wherever it is and just stood there. You're gonna You're going to see my message. Come on. You got nothing better to do?
Well, there it is.
But you're not going to get my money. Now, how do you feel?
Yeah. So Mama Rivers is listening, and she's got a story of her own that I've forgotten about. She's asked me if I remember playing in Kingston, which is another junior city.
Kingston, New York?
Kingston, Ontario.
I was thinking Jamaica.
Yeah, no.
It's a lot of Kingston.
Not a lot of hockey going on there, Carey. So. But she says there was, I guess I did something on the ice, or who knows, right? Imagine being my parent in the visiting barn. Like, so this was, we were on the road, and fan yelled out, "Rivers, go home to your mother." And she turned around and said, "His mother is right here." And she says, after that, they wanted to buy me snacks and coffee, ask me all sorts of questions about your career.
I'm sure. That's awesome.
It's funny how that works. I remember her telling me that. His mother is right here.
That's phenomenal.
They're like, oh, boy, okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, that's another part of it. You never know who you're sitting next to.
No, you're right.
100%. And that's another reason, especially at high school, I would have, and lower levels, I always have conversations with parents and family. Listen, if you're yelling for the offensive line, the all line's not blocking, the center's mother is sitting right there. The right guard's mother is right there. The left tackle, like, you're being rude and disrespectful to that parent. So in high school, it matters. But in college, also, because you could be sitting next to somebody's parents that is a part of the team. Like, you could be talking crap about the quarterback, and the quarterback's father is standing right there. He's probably not going to like it. So, you be careful, be cautious. But for me, booing, like you said, Anthony, is just, at times it's a bit much, and it's rude and disrespectful.
Like I said, I don't worry about like the players in that regard. I'm just literally talking about the person booing. Like, I don't know.
But if you want to boo,
stupid.
go ahead.
No, go for it, man.
Knock yourself out.
I'm just going to judge you. And it's always the same. It's always the same looking person too. You go to a game, the person's booing. If I turn around, I see the person that's booing. I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have What's Trending next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals and Rockies are underway in Colorado. The Cardinals with a 2-1 lead right now in the bottom of the first inning. Back-to-back home runs from Lars Nootbaar and Paul Goldschmidt. We'll keep you updated on today's game throughout the show. But coming up next, we have What's Trending right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, we have some drama in Major League Baseball. The Braves and Mets, they're in a race for the wild card, and they're supposed to play each other. However, two of their games got rescheduled for Monday when the season's supposed to be over. Heading into the playoffs, now they have a doubleheader on Monday. I think this is ridiculous.
Well, I was telling you guys in the office that apparently the league had proposed a couple of different solutions. One, play the games earlier before the weekend or whatnot because of the storms that are going up the East Coast there. Yeah. And the Braves didn't want to do that. So then the league proposed to both teams that maybe play the game in Texas, where Texas will not be affected at all by the hurricanes or whatever's going on. And the Braves said no to that as well. So the only thing the Braves have agreed to is this doubleheader on Monday, which I haven't looked at where they're at, the rotation and things like that, but seems kind of odd to me that the Braves would reject two different solutions that the Mets are okay with. It's got to be something to do with pitching.
100%. Famously in 1989, you had, of course, Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan, who were manager and pitching coach for the A's. And everybody remembers the 89 World Series as the Earthquake Series, of course. Giants and A's. And the Earthquake wound up obviously pausing the World Series, rightfully so. People lost, some people lost their lives in that. And it wound up benefiting the A's, who had an opportunity to throw their ace and use their closer multiple times in the series, and they wound up sweeping the Giants. Now, the Giants had the same effect, had the same opportunities, but the A's pitching staff was much better. The point is, and we've seen this too with the Cardinals, with the rainouts. Oh, it's always about pitching. If you can gain an edge in a series because of a scheduling conflict, rain, storms, whatever, you're gonna take advantage of that. So, Jamie, I completely agree with you. I don't know how it sets up for the Braves and their pitching staff, but it has to benefit them. From a pitching standpoint, much more so than like getting an extra days off or rest or even home field advantage. The pitching matchups will matter. The pitching matchups matter, but again, and then the Braves are at home. Like, they didn't have to leave. They got Kansas City coming to Atlanta. They're going to play that series. They didn't need to leave. The Mets got to go to Milwaukee and now come back to Atlanta to finish out that series. I wouldn't have a problem. I mean, if I'm the home team and I get to choose, no, I'm not leaving. I don't want to play anywhere. I want to play in front of my fans with my pitching rotation set the way that I want it to be. Why in the hell would I give you an advantage? Right. This is for the playoffs. No, I'm not going to Texas. I'm not going anywhere. We'll play it another day. We got to play it. Play it another day. This stuff makes me just wish that the Braves lose. I hope they don't make the playoffs. Oh, that's harsh. I don't. Why would you be mad about that? I don't know. He doesn't like the games. I'm still mad about that damn rain out back in early whenever that was against the Cubs. How did they lose? Marsh was impacted by that. Marsh is not happy. Changed my life. By the way, can I just address this? So the Cardinals are now tied with the Rockies 2-2. Back-to-back home runs by Goldschmidt and Newt in the first inning got the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. Kyle Gibson takes the bump and immediately he's in trouble. It's 2-0. Runners at first and second. Fly ball to right field. Coors Field for outfielders, I've talked to multiple outfielders about this, is hard. It's difficult. It almost feels like a cavern out there from a you can't hear the guy next to you, and the outfield plays much bigger than what any baseball outfield should, right? Like given the dimensions. Well, having said that, Jordan Walker went back on a ball, misplayed it, had the ball go off his glove. That scored a run, and then Gibson allowed a double to go off the wall at Coors Field, and now it's tied 2-2. At some point, the Cardinals are going to have to figure out whether Jordan Walker's an outfielder or not. We complain about a lot. We complain a lot about the Cardinals and the free agency and what they do in free agency and trades and whatever. Can you properly evaluate what the hell is on your current roster? I'm not giving up on Jordan Walker. I think the kid is going to be good overall. At some point, can we make a decision whether or not this kid should be in right field? Because he makes a ton of mistakes.
It's funny you bring that up because Katie Wu just tweeted out, it's not for a lack of effort, but Jordan Walker should not be in the outfield next year.
There you go.
I would plop him right at first base.
So would I. And not to say that first base is easy, right? It's incredibly hard.
It is. But here's the thing. Right. Jordan Walker was drafted as an infielder. Right. Third baseman is different. I obviously don't see him unseating Nolan Arenado at third base unless there's a trade that happens in the offseason. If so, then I would give that a run and see how he does there. If not, I would try him at first base. He's a big dude. Why not?
Here's a simple thing. Just don't let the batter hit the ball in the outfield.
Oh, yeah.
Get you some swing and miss. Huh?
We don't have a lot of that.
Believe it or not, Carey, the other team is still trying to hit. So it's going to happen.
This is a wild thought.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what you guys think. What if you moved Arenado to first base? Not as, he's not the same third baseman as he once was.
Maybe at some point, but
he is. Not saying it's a good idea. I'm just throwing it out there.
Why don't you just trade him?
Because you can do it on MLB The Show. It's one of his secondary positions.
Well, Marsh, that's
I put him there before.
There you go. How'd it go?
Now we get it. Now we see it.
All things that Marshy brings up that are out of the blue, the road leads back to a video game.
Right.
Always.
Yep.
Always.
Cardinals 2-2, top second now. This one, they may score 25 runs today at Coors Field. This feels like a Cardinals, this feels like a Coors Field game setting up.
Why is Jose Fermin in the lineup?
Why does it matter? It doesn't. Let everybody play. You get to play. If I go down there, maybe I would love an opportunity.
We'd all like to play.
Give me a chance.
I'll play first base.
Yeah, you will. You play it well.
Yep, I catch.
Ken Mizzou.
I know, you're a good catcher.
Wait a minute.
Anthony, why don't you pitch?
A better pitcher.
Carey's catching.
We've talked about this, Carey. You got to be careful with everything.
Every time.
And I mean everything that you say around Jamie. All right.
That's baseball, boys.
Drink was on the opening drive yesterday, and he broke down some of the goals and the team and how things change month to month. Can Mizzou turn it up a notch, especially when the schedule gets more difficult? That's next on 101 ESPN.
I mean, the first month of the season is about eliminating bad football. It's about getting everybody on the same page and not having self-inflicting wounds that cause you to lose. And then, really the second month is all about improvement. The third month is about playing to your players' strengths. And then really the fourth month comes down to situational football if you're able to make the playoffs. And, I think for everybody's expectations, it is what it is. And I'm glad that people are excited and feel like Mizzou is invincible. But at the end of the day, we're still a group of 18 to 22-year-olds fighting to become the best team that we can be, and the opponent has a say in it too, and they're a good football team. They're good football players, and so the games rarely go the way you want them to. I think the thing that I'm most proud of in the first 4 games, specifically the last 2, is that our team has found a way to win despite being behind.
So that was Eli Drinkwitz, head coach of the Missouri Tigers. He was on the opening drive yesterday, and there was a couple of things that he had noted that really I thought was, what else are you going to say? And I don't mean that as a shot at Drink at all. I mean, really, what else could he say? Including, we need to play better. You're coming off a double overtime win at home against Vanderbilt. Of course you have to play better when you're considered a legitimate playoff team and a team that was at one point ranked in the top 10. You're also 4-0, so that shouldn't be overlooked. The question, though, is can this team, coming off the bye, because they're in a bye week this week, do you guys think that they have the coaching and the players to turn it up a notch when they come out of the break and they have to go down to College Station to take on Texas A&M for another conference game? In fact, probably their biggest matchup outside of Boston College.
Yeah, I think they do. Let's rewind it a little bit to last year. The first 3-4 games were not any kind of work of art by any means. At one point, we're like, oh, woof.
Right.
This is going to get ugly. And then the offense started to click, and Brady Cook started to move the ball around the field. Obviously, Corey Schrader was part of your team. But, with the young kid, the Noel kid, you really haven't missed anything with your running game.
I agree.
So I said, yesterday? That, to me, the passing game has been the one thing that has not evolved yet this year. I think we'll see that with more reps. I think we'll see that get better and better. But this coaching staff, same coaching staff that got them into a position to start the year ranked high. Mm-hmm. Were they 9th or something to start the year, the very first week?
I think they were 11th.
Were they 11th?
If I remember correctly.
Still, it was that's what the coaching staff and the players have done. So I think there's another level there.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have to find it for their next game against A&M, and then they're going to have to keep that level going because got a couple of games that are, we'll call them winnable games, and then you've got Alabama and after that.
Right.
I didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I talked about this after that game that they played against Vandy. It wasn't pretty. You went into overtime, but you're much better. Life is much better when you're correcting things after a win as opposed to trying to correct things after a loss. You got to this point, you're 4-0 with an opportunity to go to Texas A&M and pick up another win, a big win in this point of the year. So, yes, you are always trying to correct things. I had a coach tell me, you never played as good as you think, and you never played as poorly as you think. It's somewhere in the middle. So, essentially, be even keel. Don't ride the wave. Don't get too high on your play. Don't get too low on it because, every play is different and every game is different. So it's you want to correct the things after win. Trust me, they feel much better being 4-0 than 3-1 or 2-2.
We got a text from the 618. Iron sharpens iron. Having too many cupcakes on the schedule. I do think that is important because you look at some of the other top teams in the nation. They've been having pretty big games so far this year, and I think that gets them into a rhythm and it makes them kind of come together a little quicker as a team because they have to get up for those games, whereas you don't really need to, you need to be up for every game, but you don't really have to get up for some of these games.
Yeah.
Just because, look at the teams that you're playing. I know we talk about Mizzou's schedule helping them because it is kind of easy. I'm starting to wonder if it's really hurting them, especially this early on.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought, Marsha. I think about the NFL in that regard, too, when you look at some of these teams playing right now. Like, are the Baltimore Ravens better than their 1-2 record would indicate? Yeah, they are. But how many teams are impacted by not having a preseason? Now, I know the bad teams don't really play in the preseason either, But I do think it levels the playing field some.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carey, you've talked a lot about when Mike Tomlin used to have you guys doing two-a-day practices.
Full pads. Every day.
During the season, full pads. Every day. Because he wanted to make sure that you guys were physical and in condition by the end of the year.
Correct.
Now, do you lose guys along the way? Yes. Sure. But you're going to lose guys along the way anyways. Look at the NFL right now.
Yeah.
The 49ers are down Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, and a slew of other guys.
Yeah.
You can have injuries at any point. There's never been more advancements when it comes to science, nutrition, all of that, technology, and yet we're still finding out that guys are going to get hurt.
Always. Yeah.
So are they conditioned to play on Sundays, or are they walking through and then the only physicality is on Sundays? So getting back to Mizzou here, a long way of saying this, is that if you're Mizzou, I think, Marsh, there is something to that. You play a couple of cupcakes early on, and then some team comes in, and they're a little better than you think. They punch you in the mouth. You kind of stumble back. Mm-hmm. Good for Mizzou and hanging in, but now things get a lot tougher.
For me, I think it's also the fact that I said it yesterday that they are the team that is being hunted now. Like, you are a top 10 team. You started the season off in the top 10 in the country. People are trying. You're going to get the best shot of every. Boston College came in there and tried to punch you in your mouth, and they did to start the game off. They punched you right in your mouth, and they were able to fight back. Vandy, a team that you're probably looking at, you know Vandy's history, you know the how often they are at the bottom of the SEC. There's not really high expectations from them every year. They came in and did the same. They took you to overtime. The best part for Mizzou was the wins. Like, they were able to find a way. It wasn't pretty.
Right. You
getting down 14-3 against Boston College at home, that's not pretty. You going to overtime against Vandy, that's not pretty. But you were able to fix it. And again, this could be a catalyst. This could be the one thing that Drink uses and says, hey, we are not there yet. We are not good enough to say we're going to take this game off. We have to be locked in every single day, every practice, every moment of film, practice, nutrition, whatever we're doing, we have to be dialed in. If not, we can lose a game. And we're only going to start playing teams that are better than Boston College and Vandy. So I didn't have a problem. Like, it didn't look good. It's funny to joke with them and laugh at them. You almost, but they won. Yeah. So at the end of the day, that's the most important part, and you want to be able to correct those things while you can.
The other aspect to this too, guys, is, you know, if you really are looking at it, the soft schedule from our perspective, it really only hurts you unless you blow these teams out. That's it.
True.
If Vanderbilt hangs with you, it's a bad look for Mizzou. If Boston College, no matter if they're ranked or not, hangs with you, it's a bad look. If Buffalo or Middle Tennessee or Murray State or whoever gives you more of a game than what people expect, it's a bad look.
Yeah.
Period. Because I'm thinking about, you know, Carey, you had said 14-3 when they had trailed. They're down 14-0, I believe, in Lexington last year. They came back and won. I view that as an outstanding victory. Why? Because they're coming off the LSU loss. They're on the road. It was a quality opponent.
Yep.
Same situation, same game score and all that stuff. So it does hurt you. It also doesn't leave us really with a realistic viewpoint of where they are. We can judge based on, from what we're seeing, like defensively, the last two games. Too many blown assignments. The tackling hasn't been sharp. Guys are out of position. All of that is true. But can they clean that up before Texas A&M? Absolutely.
You got time. You had a bye week. You got a chance to, again, go over in detail all of the things. You could spend an entire week basically fixing the things that you didn't do well against Vandy,
right,
which you really can't do when you have an opponent that upcoming week, because you get a day to look at the film, go over corrections that afternoon, and then it's on to the next game. You get an entire week to really lock in on the things that you didn't do well, and then at the end of the week start preparing for Texas A&M and start understanding how they want to scheme you up, what they do offensively, defensively, how you're going to attack them. So it allows them to correct a lot of the things that they probably looked at on film and were like, this is not good enough.
Right.
And if it's not good enough to beat that team, which we barely did, it's definitely not going to be good enough to beat this team on the road. So it came at a perfect time if it was going to happen. And again, I think this could be the thing. I wouldn't be shocked if Mizzou comes out on fire and they start playing at a high level, because That was the one scare. You get one of those. You're going to get one or two of those a year. You got yours out of the way, and hopefully it can kind of jolt the system and say, okay, we got to lock in every single moment.
Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have our NFL 4 downs. Let's talk a little Trevor Lawrence in one of those downs. That's next on 101 ESPN. Fastlane on 101 ESPN 301. Your time check is brought to you by Collection Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. Time for NFL 4 downs.
First down.
All right, gentlemen. First down. Has Trevor Lawrence already hit his ceiling, or can we blame the Jags' struggles mostly on coaching, the O-line, and others?
Who did I compare Trevor Lawrence to? I said they're twins. Justin Herbert. Justin
They
Herbert.
don't look very much alike, though.
They play alike, though.
Come on.
Seriously. The expectations people have placed on him. You know who realized Justin Herbert doesn't need those expectations? His head coach. Hands the ball off a lot now.
He would hand the ball off
games.
whether if he had Tom Brady or Joe Montana.
Yeah, that's a good point, Anthony.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Jim Harbaugh was a quarterback. He knows QBs.
Yeah, he does.
He knows that running the ball
Wins games.
is the quarterback's best friend.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is, I think we had and have such high expectations on him being the number 1 overall pick. You know, winning a national championship in college as a true freshman, like this was supposed to be the next one. He was supposed to be the Peyton Manning, the Andrew Luck, the one guy that was a can't-miss prospect.
Right.
I have no clue. I don't know. We talked about, you know, his first year was Urban Meyer, correct? Was that his first year? His first year was Urban Meyer, so we gave him a pass.
Right.
And then you say, okay, he got an adult in the room and
got a playoff win.
Did he? Did Brandon Staley and the Chargers give that win?
Yes.
Okay.
Boy, did they ever. I mean, they really gave that win.
Okay. So he
still won the division.
Win. They won the division, but it has been kind of downhill since then. It's not been good.
Yep.
And they have the talent. I know Evan Ingram hasn't played yet this year. They let Calvin Ridley go, which, again, I don't know. But you got Christian Kirk. You brought in Gabe Davis. You got a running game.
Brian Thomas is a pretty good deep
rookie.
threat.
I don't know why it doesn't look good for him. It should look. If Doug Peterson can win with Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, I think he can probably win with Trevor Lawrence. So, yeah, we'll see.
He looks like he doesn't need football.
Oh,
that's not
Trevor
good.
Lawrence.
What do you mean?
He looks he just kind of plays and looks like a guy that's not necessarily poring over the film work constantly.
I understand what you're saying. He looks like someone who likes to play football.
Yes.
He's not a football player.
Yes.
Doesn't love it.
Doesn't love it. He looks like a guy that knows that he's got the talent, the speed, the height, the arm strength to be an NFL quarterback. And he won a national championship at Clemson, so let's not overlook that fact either. But I don't know if this is what Peyton Manning was, or Tom Brady was, or even somebody that like Gardner Minshew is.
Yeah.
Like Gardner Minshew is going to pour over film and rally troops and have the confidence in the fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence looks like a guy that's just kind of like, hey, whatever happens, happens.
He looks somewhat disinterested.
Yeah. And maybe that's not fair, but look, the product is still the same.
I can't say that he doesn't care about football. It doesn't pour over the film. He just might not be good enough, fellas. Like, he might just be just good enough to get the job done. But he's being paid like an elite quarterback, so he's going to have to figure it out. He's not going to go sit on the bench at any time. Doug Peterson will lose his job before Trevor Lawrence does, and they'll try to figure it out again.
Yeah.
But this is what we talk, like, quarterback is the toughest position in the NFL. It might be the toughest position in all of sports because there are so many things going on and there is so much that you have to figure out in a short span of time. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they do, but they better figure it out soon.
Maybe he's just on a bad team.
That too.
Maybe. Second down.
I was a big Trevor Lawrence fan. I feel like we're to the point now where we're making excuses for him. Like, I don't think the Jaguars are a playoff team anymore. I don't think they're this bad either. Just my thought.
All right. Well, Anthony's got a new player that he hates.
Should have hired Jim Harbaugh.
Doesn't like his hair.
And run the ball.
Hair's fine.
All right, guys, if you're Matt LaFleur, do you run with a less than 100% Jordan Love or a healthy Malik Willis against one of the best defenses in the NFL on Sunday in the Minnesota Vikings?
I'm going with my guy. Jordan Love. Oh, no question. If he's practiced, I think, 4 days now. If he's healthy enough to practice and move around and protect himself, I will make sure that as a head coach, and LaFleur is an outstanding coach. He does a good job of scheming teams up and knowing exactly how to get his players the ball. I'm not going to put him in dangerous positions where, you got free runners at him. I'm going to make sure that he's protected and gets the ball out quick enough. But I'm not. Malik Willis, love you. Done a great job. You went back to Tennessee. You beat your former team. God bless you. Tip of the cap. You got a game ball. Now move out the way.
Yeah. You've done your job as a backup.
What we wanted you to do. You did better. You won both games. Like, thank you.
You succeeded with flying colors.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think that, and Carey, you certainly would know this way better than me, of how it works leading up to a game, like the week of practice. This week, I would have made sure that Willis still is involved in all of the things that are going on, because if Jordan Love does play, and let's say he tweaks something in the first quarter, you want to have the other guy who is obviously not as good. You want him, though, at least up to speed on everything that you've been working on throughout the week.
Yeah.
I hope he plays. I do.
You shouldn't.
You hope who plays?
I hope Jordan Love plays.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be limited. That's why.
That's exactly why. I don't think he can run around like Malik Willis can. You can find holes in that defense if the play breaks down.
Here's the thing. If you don't have to run around because you're really good at your position, you don't.
That guy, he's going to have to run around. He's going to have to move outside the pocket.
Marshy, I don't want to burst your bubble. No, you're riding high right now, and I'm going to let you stay there.
I'm just saying. I've watched the games.
Okay.
Who do you think's better, C.J. Stroud or Jordan Love, or a less than 100% Jordan Love?
But it's not about the
C.J. Stroud.
It's not about the quarterback himself. It's about the surrounding pieces. It's about the coach and scheming teams up and understanding how to impact. Like, quarterback, if you're just putting them next to each other, I would probably say C.J. Stroud just a notch above Jordan Love. But if I'm talking about the entire picture, blocking, running, all of those things encompassing, I would think that the Green Bay Packers have a better opportunity to beat the Minnesota Vikings.
Carey, you convinced me. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers this week.
Oh, wow.
You convinced me.
Didn't see that coming.
Are the injuries on offense masking the 49ers' issues on defense and special teams?
I think so. I mean, if you really go back to that Rams game, we could sit here and talk about, no Christian McCaffrey, no Deebo Samuel, no George Kittle. Brock Purdy played outstanding. He had one guy. It was Juwan Jennings. And then Jordan Mason was sound in the running game, had like 77 rushing yards. So he had a good ground game. He had Juwan Jennings. Brock Purdy moved well inside, outside of the pocket. The offense was not the issue on Sunday against the Rams. They scored the 49ers scored 24 points. Evan Moody missed a field goal that would have put him up by 10 late in the game, so that hurt them. And the defense allowed 27 points to a really banged up Rams team. The week before, the defense allowed 23 points to the Vikings, including a 99-yard touchdown pass when the Vikings have been backed all the way up. Now, granted, it was Justin Jefferson, I get it, but still, 99-yard touchdown pass. The week prior, against the Jets, Aaron Rodgers not really moving at that point, gave up 19 points, whatever. But the special teams and the defense for the 49ers have actually been a bigger problem, I think, through 3 weeks. But we're concentrating so much on the fact that those other guys are out offensively that we're almost like pinning the issues on the offense. It's not. At some point, not having your guys will hurt. But it's not like the Niners' defense has been lights out. And Shanahan made the decision last year to fire Steve Wilks days after they lost in the Super Bowl.
Weird.
And there's been a bit of a transition here under this new defense coordinator.
That was a weird move. I mean, starting linebacker was out. Kind of changed the whole trajectory of that
should
game.
have anticipated that.
I don't know. You can anticipate your starting linebacker tearing his Achilles as he's running onto the field. I didn't know that was...
Some say that was a fluke injury. I don't know. I'll have to watch the film.
You should.
4th down.
Do you guys anticipate the current division leaders to stay the same throughout the year? And what percentage do you think will remain?
So if I'm looking at the AFC, I feel really good about the Bills. I don't know about Carey Steelers staying in first place. I feel pretty good about Houston and Kansas City. So I think from an AFC standpoint, I think you're looking at 75% of those teams. NFC, Washington and Philly right now are leading. Minnesota's leading. New Orleans and Tampa are tied, and the Seattle Seahawks are 3-0. I don't know. I think we tend to look at what we're seeing right now and think it's just going to play itself out exactly that way. But the NFL is king of parity. So overall, as a league, I think 50% of these teams will still be in first place at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot more back and forth in the NFC. Especially look at the NFC North, like the Lions at some point are going to press. The Packers are right there, too. The Vikings have been much better than anticipated. The Saints and the Buccaneers now look like they're going to battle for the NFC South. And the Falcons, who knows? The NFC West, for me, is the biggest surprise to where Seattle's kind of running away with it. I don't know if anybody would have thought that. I mean, obviously the 49ers were the top team, and then I had the Rams finishing in second.
Yeah.
The NFC does. I think there will be some shifts. I will actually say, I don't want to scare you here. I think your Falcons are actually going to be much better. The two losses. Anthony, calm down.
They got the Saints, the Bucs, and a rejuvenated Panthers team before going to Seattle, and then they got the Bucs again.
They'll beat the Saints this weekend.
They'll be lucky to win 3 games this year.
What? You and Marcia got the same mindset, and I do not like it.
The schedule's brutal. Everybody thought the schedule was going to be easy. The schedule's brutal.
The mindset that you won't cheer on your teams.
Oh, I'll cheer right on.
That your thoughts of your team being successful is what causes their demise.
Carey, you just don't like hearing honesty.
No, I think the Atlanta Falcons got a chance to win this weekend, and they are better than their 1-2 record shows.
They should be 0-3.
Nah, Anthony.
I cheer for my team. I just don't pick them in the Pick'em Challenge.
No.
Because the minute I do, unless they're playing the Giants, the minute I do, they'll lose.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Makes sense to me.
That's crazy.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Nolan Arenado said something last night on Bally Sports Midwest that I think a lot of Cardinals fans were waiting for him to say for a while. We'll play that audio for you next on 101 ESPN. Nolan Arenado spoke to Bally Sports Midwest last night following the Cardinals' victory over the Rockies. And right now, by the way, the Cardinals have a 5-4 lead over the Rockies at Coors Field. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. But Arenado said something on Bally Sports Midwest that maybe some Cardinals fans viewed, if they did hear it, as like, hey, this is the sort of leadership we've been wanting to see for a while. If you hadn't heard the audio, here's what Nolan Arenado said last night following the game.
This team, there's some good young guys that are coming. We got Pedro, who's really good back there. We got Masyn, who's a stud. Walker seems like he's making his steps. Lars is starting to play some good ball. When he's healthy, he seems like he can do his thing. So I think there's some positives. Obviously, you want us to get better. I don't know what this team needs. I just know that we can get better, and we need to get better to get to where we want to go. And I know I definitely do. And like I said, I don't feel comfortable talking about everything the team needs. I need to look inward and get better.
So I'm going to ask you this because I think I kind of have to. But changes come, players get traded. Are you comfortable with coming back? Do you want to come back and be a Cardinal?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm open. I'm here. I signed here and I opted in for a reason, and I'm going to give everything I got until they tell me no. So, I'm prepared. Like I said, I need to work. I got a lot of work to do this offseason. As far as the trades and all that stuff, I'm not even thinking about any of that. I'm really not. I'm really just thinking about how I need to get better and get back to slugging and driving in runs like I know I can.
There you go. So Nolan Arenado talking about accountability, ownership, a lot of the things that I think all of us as fans, whether it's the Cardinals, the Blues, whoever, what we want to see out of our veterans and guys that are making a ton of money. Do you guys think, though, that this is, one, it's a little too late, and two, do you think he can show this sort of leadership when it really matters? In spring training, during the tough times, do you guys think that this is somebody that can play well enough and feel good enough about his game to then have that leadership in the clubhouse? Because I do think that's what this is one of those players. Jamie, you talked about this a lot with Arenado.
Yeah.
Like if he's not rolling well,
yeah,
forget it. He's just kind of, he's got the tunnel vision.
Leave him alone.
You leave him alone.
Yeah,
and that's fine if you want to be that way, but I think it's tough to be a leader and also have it that way.
Yeah, it is extremely tough. And whether you like it or not, once you've been a veteran player and you've had success, you're automatically a leader. Like, even if you're not a guy that's like, oh, I'm not really a leader. No, you are, because the younger players and the other guys are all looking to you.
Right.
Even if they're not asking you for, like, favors or asking you questions, they're watching you play.
Yes.
They're watching your at-bats. They're watching your work in practice, and they're learning from you, or they're grabbing little bits and pieces of what you do. So you're a leader.
Yeah.
So not everybody has to lead the same way. I guess maybe this is the wrong way of thinking. Maybe I'm just being a little negative today. But when I hear him talk like that, I want to know, like, in my head, I'm like, is he just saying that stuff now?
Season's over. It's not going to matter.
It's not going to matter. And he's going to want to trade out of here or something. Like, he's going to be gone. Like, which is probably the worst way to look at it. I'm just being so negative, but I don't know.
You're speaking your truth.
I'm speaking my truth. I just wonder, is he going to be a Cardinal, at spring training next year?
We got a text from the 314, which literally took the words right out of my mouth. Arenado needs to fix his body language. Like, when he's not hitting well, when he's not fielding well, it hangs with him. It shows. And if you are a leader, a veteran, a guy that is getting paid the most amount of money on the team, I know people wonder, why does that matter? Because it matters. We know in that locker room, in that clubhouse, who the guys are. You making you got to come on. You got to play. Because if I was making that, if I make then I should be getting that money.
Yeah.
So when you're making that amount of money, the expectations are higher and more is placed on you. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. You got the crown. You got the most money. Mm-hmm. So his body language, when he's not performing well, it really it kind of permeates through the entire clubhouse, through the entire locker room. You can feel it. You can see it, even watching it on TV. Now, maybe he doesn't know that that's taking place, but I would doubt it. But that needs to change. The mindset to be a better team needs to change, and his play has to be higher. He has to be better if this team has any expectations next year of making the playoffs and making a run.
Yeah.
Like it lays at his feet. And especially if Goldie isn't here, it's going to be him and whatever a group of younger guys that are going to be looking to him. Matt Carpenter might not be here.
Yep.
Lance Lynn might not be here. Like the guys you brought in because you needed leadership probably aren't going to be here. Now it's on you. What are you going to do?
This is an interesting take by Jason in the Snake Pit. I want to get your thoughts on this. If you have influence, Jason writes, you're a leader. Arenado has influence in that clubhouse because his contract says so. It kind of plays into what you're saying, Carey, in that you know who's making the most money.
Yeah.
But to me, if you're a leader, it really has nothing to do with how much money you make. You're just a natural leader. People want to hang around you. You galvanize people. You walk in the room, you have presence, not because of the contract, but because you command that room based on how you act and what you say.
So I think the leadership doesn't matter how much you make.
No.
The expectations matter based on how much you make.
Sure.
You can be a leader and be a rookie. You can be a leader and be, the 53rd man on an NFL roster. You can be a leader and be the 25th man on the Major League Baseball roster. You can be a leader and not be paid the most.
Sure.
The expectations. Now, if you're a leader and you don't start, I don't have high expectations. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to listen because you have knowledge of what should be done.
Right.
But my expectations from you based on how much you make are different from a person that is not making X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, leadership and expectations can be two different things.
Sure.
So,
Jamie, you feel the same way from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, there's so many teams I played on where the best leaders in the room weren't making the most money.
Yeah.
Now, some were making a lot of money, but some of them weren't. So, for me, I've always said leadership is an attitude. Like, you're either a leader or you're not.
Yeah.
And we know that in all walks of life. If it's in the office, at the grocery store, wherever it is that you work or that you frequent, you know people there, like, who are the leaders. You just know. Mm-hmm. And like you said, they carry themselves as a leader. They're very sure of themselves. They're very, like they can influence a room to either, to help the group, whether it's business or whether it's sports. Like leaders, they're just naturally built that way.
Sure.
So I'm with Carey on that one.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. The Cardinals and the Rockies are now tied at 5 apiece as both pitchers, Kyle Freeland and Kyle Gibson, have struggled today at Coors Field. The defense has really struggled, too. It's not just the pitching. Jordan Walker misplayed a ball in right field for the Cardinals. The left fielder for the Rockies has had a really tough day. I think he's misplayed 2 balls. So, again, not just a starting pitching thing, but it is a Coors game where we could see 20 runs at some point combined today. By the way, tonight, Jamie Rivers, Learn.
Oh, yeah.
Go watch some Thursday Night Football with Learn from the Riz Show and our guy Jamie Rivers from our show here at the Fast Lane. 6:30 to 8:30 at Helen Fitzgerald's. You could go watch some Thursday Night Football. It's Cowboys and Giants tonight. Get signed up for some Point and 101 ESPN giveaways and enjoy some cold Bud Light as well. Again, that's tonight, 6:30 to 8:30 with Learn and Jamie Rivers at Helen Fitzgerald's on Lindbergh in Sunset Hills. We'll play Hot Take or Hot Garbage next. So if you want to text in now, 314-399-9646, some hot take or hot garbage, send those in and we'll play that game here on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals are currently tied with the Colorado Rockies in the 5th inning. It's a 5-5 game. We'll keep you updated on the score throughout the show. Last night, the Blues were in action. They took on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Some preseason hockey for you. The Blues lost 3-0. And they'll take on the Blackhawks on Saturday. You can listen to that game right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 5 o'clock. Tonight, we have Thursday night football for you. It's the Giants and the Cowboys. Pregame starts at 6:30. Coming up next, we have Hot Take or Hot Garbage. If you have a hot take you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Hot Take or Hot Garbage coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Hot Take.
Time for Hot Take or Hot Garbage here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, and our guy Andrew Marsh has your Hot Take or Hot Garbage options via the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646.
From the 816, Hot Take or Hot Garbage. Nolan Gorman or Jordan Walker is gone in the next 2 years.
Oh, I think that's a hot take.
Walker or Gorman?
Yeah, I think it's a hot take. In fact, I could see the Cardinals exploring some trades for Gorman this offseason. I think that the emergence of Sajasi as well has caused a little bit of a traffic jam. And my guy, Ivan Herrera, just hit a home run. So
Jamie had a vision.
That's a two-pointer.
Are you guys, what, one behind now?
I'm one behind Marshy.
Wow, yeah. with one game to go.
Ooh, that's more than one game.
Well, not to be on the weekend.
Us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow, Marshy.
Now I need Matt Carpenter to come through off the bench.
I can take the lead. Wouldn't that be nuts? Mm-hmm. I think it would be funny if it was the
Cardinals
final game.
gave up in May.
You said
June.
So, but anyways, back to Gorman and Walker. I could see them trying to get that market back again for Gorman. Just because I think they can bring in a lot with him, and I just don't know if the Cardinals still believe in him or not.
I want to say hot garbage. I think they'll both be here. I think you'll see Nolan Gorman because I find it hard. I don't know the trade scenario. Like that should have taken place last offseason because the unknown for Nolan Gorman. Like I think people know who he is. I don't know what you're going to get in return at this moment. I think your best bet with the potential that he has to hit the ball out of the park to allow him to do that. Jordan Walker, I think he's shown, an ability to fix some things when he went down and come back up. He's hitting the ball in the air, one of the complaints that we often heard. Now, you got to figure out where he's going to play because right field looks a little uncomfortable at times, Yeah, so... But I think it's hot garbage. I think they'll both be here in 2 years.
From the 314, Hot Take or Hot Garbage, Ole Miss wins the national championship.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
We're going to take a team. I really like Lane Kiffin. Like, Lane Kiffin, to me, has become more mature as the years have gone on. This is not the same Lane Kiffin that, we saw yet at USC or maybe even at FAU. This is somebody that has kind of calmed down and has understood, like, this is where I want to be. This is how I'm going to build this program. And, I think he's become more likable. But if I'm going to take a team out of the SEC, it, of course, is going to be Georgia.
I thought you were going to say Bama.
But, of course, it's going to be either Georgia or Alabama.
Why wouldn't it be Tennessee?
I was thinking Tennessee.
What are you
Texas.
Doing? Have you not watched Tennessee play football?
I have. They've been great this year.
They are pretty dang good.
Can I tell you why it's not going to be to Tennessee?
Why?
Because they're to Tennessee.
Tennessee was on that path 2 years ago, and their quarterback got hurt.
Right, because they're Tennessee.
It's not their fault. What was it, Henry Hooker? He tore his ACL, correct?
Yes, he did. Carey, there are teams and programs all throughout professional and college sports that only exist to provide memories and moments for other teams.
Tennessee has won a national championship.
You don't get that because you were a Steeler. Okay?
This is true. But I also was an Illini. Tennessee.
Fair.
Tennessee has won a national championship in their history.
National championship.
Has Ole Miss?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
I actually don't know.
Texas.
Texas
I like
is going to have
Texas
something to say
and
about it, too.
Yeah. I would take Texas over Tennessee. And Texas is also playing very well.
Why didn't you guys say Mizzou?
Because I think Mizzou's a year ahead.
Come on.
They're a year ahead.
They're in the SEC.
They are.
And they're top 11 team in the country.
They are.
Not that we have to have an SEC team, but
no, because it's going to be a Big Ten team.
Oh, come on.
It was last year.
There you go.
Are you doing the Seminoles?
No, that's
What are you doing?
That's the Seminoles.
That's
Papa, can you hear me?
We do the same thing.
All right. This is from Riverboat Ron. Hot take or hot garbage? Mo gets fired on Monday. Cardinals turn the page.
hot garbage.
So I was gonna say with the Gorman and Walker, the Gorman and Walker question earlier. Who is the president? Who's in charge? Because if it's not Mo, I could see them trading Gorman. But if Mo is still in charge over the next year plus, those two guys aren't going anywhere.
What are you getting back for Gorman? If you
I don't
trade
know.
him? So
I would have to think a decent.
You just went down this
pitcher.
path. Andrew Kittredge traded Richie Palacio, and then you got Sean Murphy. What's his name?
Sean Armstrong
For Dylan Carlson.
Yeah.
Who is no longer on the roster.
No.
So what do you get if you trade Nolan Gorman? I don't think
If
it
it's
makes
a pitcher,
sense.
If it's a pitcher, I'm rolling that dice.
What do you got enough of those guys, don't you?
Not really.
You got 14 starters right now.
You do have a lot. Yes.
You need another.
You do have a lot of pitching.
You're not gonna get.
I got you, Carey. Whatever your name is.
Hot fries.
Garbage. Mo's still around.
Hot fries.
Mo's going to seek this one out.
You guys like hot fries?
Hot fries over cold fries?
No, Anthony.
Yeah, I like hot fries. Absolutely. I hate when the fries are cold. Mushy, cold.
I don't think that's what he meant. I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant. Anthony?
Well,
That's some dirty, perverted thing.
No, they're literally called hot fries.
Why did your mind? You're not Jamie. You don't have to go to the gutter.
Well, Jamie went vague, so I immediately thought it was some sort of sexual innuendo.
You don't have to go.
As soon as Jamie goes vague,
what you think of me?
Yes.
Pretty much.
Not that I think of you, I know of you. Wow. You went, well, sometimes it could be a good thing. Then it's immediately a sexual innuendo. Depending on who you are, you're vague.
You're
sexual
pointing
innuendo.
at an innocent man right now.
I don't think so.
Hot fries are like, you know what flaming hot Cheetos are, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's basically what
like
it
a
is.
chip or a fry that's
it's like
crunchy.
Yeah.
It's a fry that's hot.
It's a snack,
It's like a Cheeto.
Okay.
Essentially.
Gotcha.
It's a hot snack.
Is it red?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Some hot fries and Mountain Dew.
Gotcha.
Like a hot snack.
Yeah, but I do prefer hot fries over cold fries.
Do you guys?
We all do.
Okay.
424
on the notes.
424 wants to know, hot take, hot garbage. Brats are better than hot dogs. You guys?
I say hot
agree with that?
take. Yeah, I say hot take on that.
Yeah, I'll go hot take too.
I'll go brat over a dog.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think it pairs better with the mustard than the hot dog.
I was just about to say that.
Do you put ketchup on your hot dog?
I do not.
And
No.
do you not believe in that?
And what?
On your hot dog, on your brat? Oh, goodness. Do you put ketchup on the brat?
Saying it louder doesn't help. He can hear fine.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Are you just a mustard guy on your brat?
Yeah, just mustard.
Okay.
I don't need that ketchup on my wiener.
What?
Just give me that mustard.
Okay.
This one's interesting. From the 618 hot take or hot garbage, Tyler Huntley will win 2 of the next 3 games for the Dolphins, and Tua will come back and lead them to the division title in their first playoff game in 20. I'm assuming first playoff win in 24 years. It will be the greatest comeback story of the NFL season.
That's a lot. That's too much.
Holy smokes.
That was a lot. That you could have if you'd have just said Huntley wins 2 of the next 3.
I'll give you that.
Hot take. Okay.
But
Tua will come back and win the division.
The greatest story in NFL history and all that? Nah.
Yeah,
I like the effort, though. I like the passion.
That's a good try.
What is the greatest story in NFL history?
Ooh. I don't know what the greatest NFL story is, but the greatest story in all of football is when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime of the Bourbon Bowl. And the Bud Dogs won said Bourbon Bowl.
That's hard to argue with that.
Nobody... I mean, you guys all saw that documentary. Nobody thought that Bobby Boucher, who was taking care of his mother, who now we know was not actually sick, nobody thought that he was going to leave his mother's side to show up at halftime at the Bourbon Bowl.
Actually, that's a good question, though.
Let alone to lead that Mud Dog team, who had not won a bowl game in forever, under their head coach, the Fonz. And
he didn't have his
beat
playbook.
that team.
He didn't.
He didn't have his playbook.
Beat that opponent.
He didn't really need it, though.
No.
It was all in his head.
That to me is the greatest story in NFL history, and honestly, it won't be duplicated. Second to the other documentary about a little Giants program.
I was just going to say, you don't want to leave
which
them
had
out.
no talent. Head coach didn't know what the fast lane he was doing.
No.
Against a brother, his brother, that won the Heisman, and who put together one of the greatest Pee Wee football teams that we will ever see.
Yeah.
That team upset.
One team had the ice box.
Absolutely.
The other didn't.
It's no girl, it's my niece, and she's pissed. Just one of the greatest lines ever.
One time.
And
whether it's football or you're racing little box cars down the road.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah. So,
yep.
Let's do one more from Jamie's Vacation Speedo.
She wasn't really sick. Spoiler alerts, Anthony. Sorry. But no.
Jamie's Vacation Speedo. Hot take or hot garbage? Zach Bolduc will start the season on the top line with Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou.
Let's get into that next on 101 ESPN. Past that on 101 ESPN. So, Marsh, you had read one last text from the Air Comfort Service text line regarding the Blues last segment. Then I said we're going to get back into that. So can you reset the table for us?
Yeah, for sure. So obviously we were just playing hot take or hot garbage. And Jamie's Vacation Speedo, who I'm sure will be fired up here soon. I don't know. Maybe Jamie. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. You never know.
You never know when that thing's going to appear. But Jamie's Vacation Speedo said hot take or hot garbage. Zach Bolduc will start the season on the top line with Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas.
I mean, I think that's what the Blues would like to see. If that's where he profiles to be as a top 6 player, I don't know if he starts the season on the top line. No, that seems like a pretty big ask. Let's go through the lineup a little bit here.
Sure.
Thomas and Kyrou, Jake Neighbors, Pavel Buchnevich. Who else would you guys put in that top 6?
Who'd you say already? Kyrou,
Thomas, Buch, Neighbors.
Sod.
Is Shen?
Sod's got to be a third liner, though.
Shen's got to be.
Shen,
center.
Braden Shen.
Possibly.
Uh,
if it takes that long, then it's probably possible.
Not.
I mean, anything's possible. Like I said, the player profiles to be in a top 6 spot. Is he ready to do that coming out of training camp?
No.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough yet to be like, oh yeah, he's a lock for to be in the top 6.
Yeah.
It's still early, and the Blues haven't really been creating a whole lot of offense here in the preseason already. And again, it's preseason, and there's different line combinations, and there's players that were playing in some of these games that will not play in the NHL coming up this next season.
Right.
So you take a lot of it with a grain of salt at this point, but you still have certain players that should look above the herd. And Bolduc is one of those players that, you're playing against a lot of young guys in some of these preseason games, junior age players, college age players. You should be really kind of showing off your offensive ability. Now, he's got great speed. He's created a few things throughout this preseason, but I haven't seen it to where you're like, okay, every time he touches the ice, that guy's dangerous.
Right.
Does he get there before the end of preseason? Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I think he's going to get every opportunity to play with really good players because Doug Armstrong and Drew Bannister want to see what it looks like when he plays with really good players, because it'd be counterproductive to play Zach Bolduc with third or fourth liners, not because those guys aren't valuable. They just play a different type of game.
Yeah.
And so therefore that kind of nullifies the offensive ability of a dynamic player when you have to play more of a chip and chase game or more of a defensive grind, physical battle. You're not really playing with guys that can get you the puck or create more offense with you.
Yeah.
So time will tell ultimately where Bolduc ends up. I do like the player a lot. He works extremely hard. He asks questions from to the veterans about certain things. He gets in the video room. He's a very coachable kid. So from that standpoint, he's doing everything he can the right way. Mm-hmm. Now it's just a matter of him getting his feet under him at the NHL level and going out there and being a player that when he touches the ice, other teams okay, we got to watch out for this guy. He's going to create some offense here. For me, he's not there yet, but it doesn't mean he can't be there at some point.
I had a question. We talk about Robert Thomas and him taking that next step to being potentially 90 to 100-point scorer. Who needs to be on the line with him for that to be attainable?
Well, Jordan Kyrou.
Okay.
For me, Jordan Kyrou has to be the guy. Kyrou's he's 37 goals. He's a 40-goal scorer. Mm-hmm. And if he scores 40 goals, you got to imagine that Robert Thomas is assisting on a lot of those goals. Mm-hmm. So that helps boost the point total.
Right.
And the power play has to be good.
Gotcha.
The power play last year was dreadful to start the season. We know that. It was part of the reason it cost Craig Berube his job, because the power play was null and void. It did get better under Drew Bannister, but you need that power play clicking right from day one this year. And Robert Thomas, he's the guy, man. Yeah. He's the quarterback. We always talk about the Krug, Perunovich, and things like that. But Robert Thomas is the reason that I'm not worried about who quarterbacks the power play. He is the quarterback. He does it from the half wall, which is a different spot. Traditionally, it's done from the blue line by a defenseman. But watch, every single power play, the puck ends up on his stick. To start whatever they're doing, it starts with Robert Thomas, which makes him the quarterback of the power play. Which is why I actually like Justin Falk up there, too.
Yeah.
Because Falk's not afraid to shoot that puck, and Thomas is great at passing. So you're going to have opportunities to where he moves that puck to Justin Falk and he's just hammering the one-timer, which you didn't have last year with Krug or Perunovich because they were left-handed shots. So they couldn't shoot a one-timer from Robert Thomas.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they have to try and go back to Robert Thompson. He's not in a one-timer spot. So for me, they lost a lot of offensive options because they didn't have the one-timer guy out there.
Yeah.
Now with that option being there, Robert Thomas, who knows how many more points he can get by just feeding the puck to a guy like Justin Falk who can shoot the puck about 98 to 100 miles an hour.
Makes sense.
Jamie, when you look at you talked about like the power play and the special teams overall, and one of the reasons that unfortunately our guy Chief got fired was because the special teams were such a mess. We haven't seen the special teams be truly, great, I would say, since Jim Montgomery was here. How much do you think can be changed with the special teams? I'm not just talking about the power play, but the special teams overall with this coaching staff and with the players that they have on hand? Because it still feels like to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it still feels like to me there's a lot of question marks.
I don't feel that way, actually.
Okay.
I don't. I think the penalty kill is going to be really good this year. You've got, adding a guy like Philip Broberg, he takes up a lot of space out there. Colton Parayko's a big guy. Justin Falk's a shot blocker, smart player. Nick Leddy's got great foot speed. Ryan Suter, let's not forget, he's been a penalty kill guy for most of his career.
Yeah.
So your back end and your goaltending are going to help you a lot with your penalty kill. Robert Thomas had a great year on the penalty kill last year. You have some guys up front that can do the job very, very well. I like the penalty kill. I'm going to say they'll be a top 10 team in the NHL on the penalty kill side. For me, it's the power play. They need to simplify it early in the season. Get away from some of the cutesy little passes and looking for the little backdoor tap in and everybody celebrates. No, get the puck on net. Get Jake Neighbors activated early in front, getting rebound goals, causing havoc. Get the puck to Justin Falk. Let him rip that puck. Create offense with volume. And don't worry about the quality of the plays. For me, it's quantity. Get the pucks to the net because other teams are still trying to figure out their penalty kill too early.
Have you always had that philosophy with the power play, or do you have that philosophy with this team specifically?
This team specifically, because you look at the personnel on your roster, and if you go back to when I played, we had Brett Hull, we had Al McInnes. The power play was pretty simple to figure out. Get the puck to one of those guys and let them shoot it. Detroit, we had every guy that's any Hall of Famer that's ever been in the 90s plays for the Red Wings.
Yeah.
And so they do, we didn't even have a scheme. We had one breakout that we used, and once you got in the zone, it was just like the Globetrotters.
Yeah.
So, but with this team in particular, last year, there was not enough shooting the puck. Just wasn't. And in today's NHL, the shot generates the offense. It just does. Either the shot goes in, or the shot gets deflected and goes in, or there's a rebound and you put the puck in the net, or your team retrieves the rebound, moves it again, gets another shot because the defending team is in chaos. Once that shot is taken and the puck is behind you and you can't necessarily see it, you have to turn to find it. Then you're turning your back to the entire play. So if you have guys that are hungry on the puck, you get the puck off of a rebound, you can either try and score or move it right back up to the defenseman for another shot. You've got chaos.
Yeah.
That's why, to me, the shot has to be the number one option on the power play, specifically early in the season when other teams are still trying to figure out what the hell they're doing on the penalty kill.
Makes sense. We do need a Gauntlet contestant, so if you want to play in the Gauntlet, text in the word Gauntlet to the Air Comfort Service text line at 314-399-9646. Might have an opportunity to take on Jamie, Carey, or Marsh next when we play.
points, 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Call 314-920-5713 now for a free inspection.
Time for the Gauntlet here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 401, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. And we've got Ryan on the line. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great, man. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for playing. Is this your first time in the Gauntlet?
Yes, it is.
All right, well, welcome in, man. Sounds good. Would you like to take on Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, or me today?
Let's do CD.
Okay.
All right.
Carey Davis. We'll head to the Conus Islands now.
Good luck, Ryan.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to need it. You got a bye week today.
Oh, Ryan. Ryan says he has a bye. You have a bye week today. So
That sounds
very
tricky.
He's trying to get you to let your guard down. All right, Ryan. Go ahead and tell Andrew Marsh to spin the wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Now, Ryan, what are we hoping for? What category?
I think random is going to be my best bet.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm going to go for random.
All right, random. We'll see if you can get it. Marsh has got a disappointed look on his face.
You're close, but it's baseball.
Baseball. How do you feel about baseball?
I don't know a lot about baseball. I'm a hockey and football guy, but hey, we'll get it done.
All right, a hockey guy here.
So what do you do here, Ryan? As you know, Ryan, you're going to get 4 baseball questions. Thank you, Marsh. 4 baseball questions, all worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Question 1. Last night, Michael McGreevy and the Cardinals kicked off a 3-game series. Well, they continued a 3-game series in Colorado. McGreevy was taken by the Cardinals with the 18th overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft. Who was that year's top pick? So who was the top pick in the 2021 MLB draft?
I need the options. I have no idea.
All right. Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, or Henry Davis?
Let's go Henry Davis.
Final answer?
Yep, complete guess.
All right.
All right, question 2. From 1993 through 2011, in which stadium did the Marlins play baseball? What was the name of it?
I need the options, please.
Sure. Was it Sun Life Stadium, Veterans Stadium, or Riverfront Stadium?
Oh, man. Let's go with the option 2, final answer.
Veterans Stadium?
Sure.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
I appreciate it.
Question number 3. Former 2-time Redbird Tommy Pham is now playing for his 9th different Major League Baseball team, the Kansas City Royals. But with which team has Pham suited up in 16 of his 31 playoff games?
Oh, man. Options.
Options are the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, or the Red Sox.
Let's stay local, baby. St. Louis Cardinals.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Ryan, last question. After beginning his MLB career in Boston, Daisuke Matsuzaka only pitched for one other franchise. Name it.
I think you know what I'm going to say. Options, please.
Sure. The New York Mets, the Chicago White Sox, or the Minnesota Twins?
Let's do Minnesota Twins. Final answer.
All right. Ryan, you're incredibly honest. I want to ask you how you're feeling because I feel like you're going to tear yourself down even more, and I don't want that.
Yeah, we want to build you up, Ryan.
I'm having fun, but it's I'm here for Carey to have an easy win.
Oh well, hey Ryan, listen, you're here to have you're already doing it, okay? You're having fun. So, all right, Carey. Carey's putting his earbuds back in.
How's it going?
Well, we're great.
All right, Carey, your category today is baseball.
All righty.
Baseball. Very, very good to you.
Very good to me.
But yeah, pack a lunch, kid. All right.
Lunchable, maybe.
A lunchable, maybe. Question 1. Michael McGreevy kicked off the 3-game series against the Rockies in Colorado. Mm-hmm. McGreevy was taken by St. Louis with the 18th overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft. Who was that year's top pick? So who was the number one pick in the 2021 MLB draft?
What year are we in? I feel like that would be Jordan Walker. Yeah, Gorman was like 19, I think. Try it again. Read the question again, sir.
Sure. We'll just start here. Michael McGreevy was taken by St. Louis with the 18th overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft. Who was that year's top pick?
Glad I asked the question again. Can I get the option, please?
Sure. Almost clarified. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to let this one go. Mackenzie Gore, C.J. Abrams, or Henry Davis?
C.J. Abrams, final answer.
All right, question 2. From 1993 through 2011, in which stadium did the Marlins play baseball? The name of the stadium.
1993 to 2011?
Correct.
It wasn't. Give me the options, please.
Was it Sun Life Stadium, Veterans Stadium, or Riverfront Stadium?
Say those again.
Sun Life Stadium, Veterans Stadium, or Riverfront Stadium?
Sun Life Stadium, final answer.
Question number 3. Former two-time Redbird Tommy Pham is now playing for his 9th different Major League Baseball team, the Kansas City Royals. But with which team has Pham suited up in 16 of his 31 playoff games?
How many games did the Diamondbacks play last year? Oh, God. Yeah. Options.
Options are the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, or the Red Sox.
Cardinals, final answer. Gonna feel good.
Last question, Carey. After beginning his MLB career in Boston, Daisuke Matsuzaka only pitched for one other franchise. Name it.
I know he's one of your favorite players.
Yeah, Daisuke.
He had the gyro ball.
Yeah, he did.
Just gyrating all over the place. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the ball was, at least.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I think he was, too.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, when he had a good game.
Yeah. Options.
Sure. The New York Mets, the Chicago White Sox, or the Minnesota Twins?
I felt like it was Mets. Mets, final answer.
All right, well, let's go over these today. Ryan versus Carey Davis. Michael McGreevy was taken by St. Louis with the 18th overall pick in the 2021 MLB draft. Who was that year's top pick? Carey, with the options, you said C.J. Abrams. Ryan, with the options, you said Henry Davis. Carey's brother. Correct answer is
Henry Davis.
Henry Davis of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Ryan is up 1-0 on Carey Davis. From 1993 through 2011, in which stadium did the Marlins play baseball? Carey, with the options, you said Sun Life Stadium. Ryan, with the options, you said Veterans Stadium. Correct answer is...
It is Sun Life Stadium.
It is Sun Life Stadium. We also would have accepted Joe Robbie Stadium or Pro Player Stadium.
Okay.
That's where the Marlins played. And, of course, that's where the Dolphins played. So Carey ties the score at 1 apiece. Former two-time Redbird Tommy Pham is now playing for his 9th different MLB team, the Royals. But with which team was Pham suited up in 16 of his 31 playoff games? With the options, Ryan said the Cardinals. With the options, Carey Davis said the Cardinals. Correct answer is...
Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks. They played a lot of games last year.
Did he 16?
Let's see.
Not last year.
Yeah, but...
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think it would
Played
have.
16?
Yeah.
Oh, games, not wins.
Yeah, games. He would have played in the
I don't even know
wild card divisional rounds, the NLCS, and the World Series.
I don't think he even played in the playoffs when he was with the Cardinals.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
I thought about it.
They didn't make the playoffs from 16 to 18.
Yeah. All right, the other way, you guys got that wrong. So, again, we have a 1-1 tie.
Talking about it.
After beginning his MLB career in Boston, Daisuke Matsuzaka only pitched for one other franchise. Name it. Carey, you went with the Mets. Ryan, you went with the Twins. The other option was the White Sox. If it's the Twins, Ryan wins. If it's the Mets, Carey wins. If it's the White Sox, we could continue this outstanding gauntlet in a tiebreaker scenario, otherwise known as a walk-off. Ryan.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
The answer was the New York Mets. Ryan, it wound up being a battle, a defensive battle, but it wound up being a battle. So
I'm just happy I got one right. So
you got the first one right. Yeah, you took the guess, you took the step. Like, all right, well, hey, Ryan's got a shot here. It went downhill from there, but you still had a shot at the end. So, Ryan, thanks for playing. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
There you go, Carey.
Oh, goodness.
You got a dub, man.
If I had no X, how? That's how many.
Yeah, certainly.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was no Picasso.
No, it wasn't.
But it doesn't matter.
It got out of there with the dub.
Yeah.
That's true.
It'll be better next time.
Good job,
That's all that
Carey.
matters. I'm like Mizzou versus Vandy.
Whoa.
Overtime, whatever it takes.
Yeah, good
Got
call
down
on that.
early.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Game back.
Yeah.
Hard-fought win.
All of that.
All of it.
All right. Masyn Winn has had himself one hell of a rookie year. Does it make sense for the Cardinals, financially and otherwise, to make Masyn Winn a contract offer this offseason? We'll get into that next on 101 ESPN. Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh and Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Cardinals have watched Masyn Winn have just an outstanding season this year. Rookie season, excellent. John Denton tweeted out that Masyn Winn is the only Cardinals rookie, in fact, at any position with the 4th MLB primary rookie shortstop all time. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Masyn Winn is the only Cardinals rookie, any position, and the 4th Major League Baseball primary rookie shortstop all time with 15-plus home runs, 10-plus stolen bases, and 150-plus hits. And that is according to Elias Sports. He joined 2006 Rookie of the Year Hanley Ramirez, 2003 Rookie of the Year Angel Baroa, and the 1997 Rookie of the Year Noma Garciaparra to do that, minimum 80% games at shortstop. So this kid has had an unbelievable season. Would you guys consider a contract extension with Masyn Winn this offseason, even though he's still pre-arb for the next 2 years? It would be, 1, get ahead of things, but 2, maybe show a little good faith with a player that has been great for you.
Yeah, I would love to entertain that. I don't think the player will. I think Masyn Winn and his representatives would feel like he's probably leaving some money on the table.
Probably.
Because knowing the Cardinals with, the way they approach things, they'd like to get the nice deal for them. And Masyn Winn, let's be honest, if Masyn Winn was hitting the open market after this year, what would teams pay for him?
A ton.
So imagine if he has an even better season.
Lane, ton.
Imagine if he has an even better year next year or even equal to this year. Then what would the price be? Even more, because now it's turned into, well, this is who he is.
Yeah.
So I don't think the player would entertain it. If I'm the Cardinals, I would. I'd float it out there because I don't think Masyn Winn, I don't think this is just a fluke. Every level he's been at, I listened to so many different interviews with him and podcasts and stuff. It takes him a little bit to figure it out, but then once he figures it out, he thrives. And that's the way it was in AAA ball as well. Took him a little bit, then he figured it out, and he thrived. Last year, came up, was fine, took him a little bit. This year, he's thriving. So I think that he's just scratching the surface as to what he could be. Give him 2 years, a little bit more muscle, maybe 10 pounds of extra muscle, and that 15 home runs could be 20.
Yeah.
So if I'm the Cardinals, yes. Here's a blank check almost. I mean, it's like a crazy, Crazy.
Yeah,
I like the idea. I would love to have him here long term. But Carey, I don't know what you feel, but I think the player's going to be like, no, I think I'll wait and just continue to, cash all these massive checks I'm getting.
So I think it depends on what that number is. I mean, you throw out a $100 million contract to a guy that won't get to that level for a couple of more years, you can entice him. You can. I'm looking at Corbin Carroll, who signed a 8-year, $111 million, and Jackson Chourio 8 years, $82 million.
Yeah, somewhere
he above what Chourio got over the 82, and some maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less than Corbin Carroll. Like you can. I think the Cardinals, if they are, and they are business savvy, they do understand how these things work. One of the worst things you can do is wait. The longer you wait, the more the price is going to go up. We saw that with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They could have signed him before they got to the first game of the season for less than $60 million a year. But I'm going to wait. Yeah, it didn't matter. By that time, you're going to pay him. You're going to be paying the highest paid quarterback of all time. Whereas if you could have probably saved yourself $5 to $8 million a year had you done it earlier in the year. So I think that the longer you wait, you're going to cost yourself more money. Because I don't see him slowing down. I don't see this. He's a really, really good baseball player. He has figured things out offensively. He is obviously the defense is what we thought he was going to be hanging his hat on. He said, nah, I can do both. And he's done both. So I think the Cardinals should, to get it out of the way. That's one less thing. He's under contract. He'll be solidified and set in that role for years to come. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about when you get to the point where it's arbitration, and you got to have those hard conversations telling the player why he doesn't deserve X amount of dollars. He's like, yeah, whatever. You're crazy. I do. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Carey mentioned some of these. Corbin Carroll, 8 years, $111 million. Michael Harris II of the Braves got 8 years, $72 million. You said Jackson Churio got, what, 79 or something like that? 80 million?
89, I think.
89 million?
82 million.
Okay.
8 years, 82.
So that's why you do it. Francisco Lindor, by the way. And Lindor has had himself a great career before he got paid by the Mets. I mean, we're talking about a player that had already been well established. But he signed 10 years, $341 million. This is a premier shortstop. Premier position, defensively, offensively. This is why you at least approach Masyn Winn and say, hey, young fella, we got a big deal for you, a lot of money for you.
More money than you've ever seen.
8 years, 110, 115 million. What do you think?
What say you?
What say you? And Major League Baseball, the players' union, will likely reach out. Somebody will reach out and say, hey, there's a reason why they're doing this. Now, it's still up to Masyn Winn and his representatives to say no or yes, but Major League Baseball does not want that. The union does not want that because you reset the market every time you get that one of these big contracts. So the players' union won't want him to do that.
But he has to do what's best for him. Right now,
and
Masyn
the Cardinals
Winn
have to
is
do the
making
smart thing.
$742,000, which, I mean, that's good money. But if you compare that to, $10, $12 million a year, what are we talking about?
And the risk is there, too.
Yeah, it is.
The risk is there.
Injury.
It's not like the Cardinals are not taking a risk. Yeah, Masyn Winn could get hurt. Masyn Winn could be a one-year fluke. Mm-hmm. So you're taking some risks, too, if you're the team. But, to me, you at least approach him. Now, Marsh, you were also talking about from the standpoint of maybe showing some good faith. Mm-hmm. Because we had the conversation yesterday about Rowdy Tellez. And Tellez, with the Pirates, had certain escalators in his contract where you get a bonus, namely for at-bats and plate appearances, right? And the Pirates decided, you're getting a little too close for that. We're gonna DFA you. And it sends a bad message. So I think, Marsh, you were talking about approaching Masyn Winn before you get to arbitration and all that mess in a couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. When you go into arbitration, they basically tell you why you suck.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. This guy thinks he's good. Let me tell you the story, though.
And he's probably going to, if he continues to play the way that he has this year, and he'll probably get better, to be honest, are you going to walk in there and tell him that he sucks? And tell him why he doesn't deserve all this money?
Pretty much.
It just rubs players the wrong way. Like, we've heard that from Corbin Burns. Yep. That's where Corbin Burns is not playing right now. Milwaukee. He's not playing in Milwaukee. No. Now, granted, that team's still good, but...
Very good.
And he's doing a fine job in Baltimore.
Fine job.
But still, like, you just don't want to make these players upset. And this is a position that you have been looking for quite some time.
Yes.
Quite some time. You need to do something about this. And granted, it could be one of those things where he ends up like Tyler O'Neill, and we had that conversation a long time ago. Now I think we're probably like, okay, probably a good thing we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Or some people could say that maybe you should have. But either way, you got to get this guy signed.
Yep, I agree.
Got to get this guy signed before arbitration. That's just my opinion. I don't want him going in there and being told that he sucks.
There you go.
Or why he shouldn't deserve X amount of money.
Right. Agreed. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. The Cardinals right now are up on the Rockies 6-5 in the top of the eighth. They're going for the sweep at Coors Field. It's been a big offensive day, although the offense has kind of slowed down since guys started to make plays in the field. Go figure, right? You play a little defense. The runs don't pop on the scoreboard as easily. But the Cardinals are still up 6-5. Again, top of the eighth. Have an opportunity to sweep the Rockies. And, boys, clinch a winning season. And if they do that, I think we celebrate. I think they celebrate. You get the champagne going at Coors Field.
I don't think you do that.
Champagne.
No?
I don't think you do that.
Wasn't that the goal from the front office?
I would
certainly wasn't to win anything big.
I already don't like that baseball celebrates all of their things like they won the championship.
Right.
They clinched the division. They get in the playoffs.
Spot.
Wild card win.
Wild card win.
Playoff next round. Division series. They're, like, you get to the point where you're like, uncle, enough.
Maybe they'll use the Welch's sparkling wine.
Maybe.
Or sparkling grape juice.
Yeah, that's a good call, Marsh. By the way, Pedro Pages just hit a 2-run home run.
Ooh.
Pedro
Catchers are doing damage today.
So the Cardinals are now up 8-5. 8-5.
Very nice.
That's his second. Isn't it his second today?
No, Herrera had one.
Oh, Herrera. That's right. That's where you said the catchers.
Catchers doing damage.
Yeah, Jamie, I caught it. I caught it like a millisecond late.
Just don't really listen.
I apologize.
Right, Carey?
You said the catchers are doing damage today. That still doesn't mean that Paz didn't hit 2. But I realized what I said. I apologize to you and to Fastlane Nation.
All right. Just be better.
You know that's not possible. 314. It sounded cocky. I didn't mean it to be. 314-399-9646. It's the Air Comfort Service text line. So if you have a question for us, we'll have the Sports Six-Pack next. So send it in to the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, the Sports Six-Pack is next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals currently lead the Rockies 8-5. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll keep you updated on the score of that game. Hopefully the Cardinals can pull through. The Blues unfortunately lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets last night. Preseason 3-0 the final score. They'll take on the Chicago Blackhawks on Saturday. Pregame starts at 5, and you can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. You can also listen to Thursday Night Football tonight. It's the New York Football Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Pregame for that one starts at 6:30. We have our Sports Six-Pack coming up next, so if you have a question you want to send our way, do so using the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646. Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter, and Andrew Marsh has your questions via the Air Comfort Service text line 314-399-9646 for the Sports Six-Pack. Marsh, go.
Question number 1.
From the 217, if Paul Goldschmidt leaves, do you think it will affect Masyn Winn's game? More errors on the field could hurt him mentally at the plate.
I mean, it's certainly possible, but Masyn Winn seems like he doesn't struggle for confidence. Doesn't seem like he's somebody that lets the game impact him in that way. So, I mean, initial blush, no, I don't think that would be a problem. And it depends on who you replace Goldschmidt with. Now, you're not going to, no matter what, it's not going to be Goldschmidt defensively. But if you get somebody that can pick it over there, or at least develops into somebody that can pick it over there, then you'll be fine. Got to move on at some point.
Do you?
From Goldie, yeah. Excuse me. Yep.
Okay.
No?
Sure.
Okay.
At some point. But not next year.
We're going to play Jordan Walker.
First base.
Me too.
Yep.
Is first base easy?
No.
It's incredibly hard.
But
he can't play right field really
no, he
that
can't.
well. So
he can't play anywhere in the outfield, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
He's working hard.
He is. I'll give him that.
Carey, seen a lot of guys work hard. They weren't very good. Doesn't mean they're...
I don't disagree with that.
You know?
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Being a hard worker is a good characteristic. Doesn't make you good, though.
You're going to put him at first base, and then what?
Carey, where the hell would you put him? Because everywhere I put him, you don't like it. Like everywhere. And then you're like, well, where do you want it?
You got a piss poor attitude is what Jamie's saying.
I am saying that. And you are his biggest supporter.
I am a Jordan Walker fan.
And I'm trying to find your client a spot on the diamond, and you don't like it.
Yep. You don't like it at all, in fact.
Do you want me to send him back down?
No.
Trade him?
No.
Well, then you tell me where you'd like your client to play.
I just feel like he's wherever he's well suited at, wherever it works out for him best, you know?
Well, it ain't the outfield.
Well, you know, hey, we'll figure some things out. Get better, work harder.
You're not
come back
making
next
this easy
year
for me, Carey.
Ready to roll. Ready to play wherever you want me to put me in. Skip, I'll play it.
What, did he go to the Bull Durham media trainer?
Yeah, he did. He absolutely did.
What the hell was that?
Quite frankly, I find what Carey continues to do here disgusting.
Oh, it's insulting.
You know?
That's
It's
disgusting.
insulting.
You know?
Yeah.
Just
somewhat unprofessional.
Bat him in the lineup higher instead of lower. We'll figure everything else out.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Question number 2.
Play the catcher, too.
Yeah, why not?
If need be.
From the 314, do you think Texas would still be number 1 in the AP polls if they were in the Big 12 instead of the SEC this year?
Well, you wouldn't be playing Michigan, I don't think.
That's not true.
Oh, yeah, they would be playing Michigan. That's right, because they're in the
non-conference
SEC.
game.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, God, boy. Jeez, guys, all over me today.
Probably. I mean,
yeah. Why wouldn't they? I mean, they were in the college football playoff last year.
They
returned a very good team.
You went to Michigan and beat the hell out of them at Michigan.
And then your other game so far has been
UL Monroe.
Yeah, so
Monroe.
I would say yes. I understand the nature of the question. They're getting the SEC boost, but I think you're kind of picking the wrong team this year to be doing that.
Yeah, they were actually, like you said, last year they were in the college football playoffs. The year before, they were on their way. They should have beaten Bama the year before.
Yeah.
In 22 when they lost, I think that's when Quinn Ewers got hurt in that game, I believe. They lost 20-19 early in the season.
I think you're right.
He got hurt his rib or wrist or something. So yeah, I think they have been trending in this direction for a while.
Question number 3.
From the 573, do you worry with the lack of goals thus far in preseason compared to other teams? This is about the Blues.
I think it's always a concern. You want to have guys scoring goals right away. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all, again, because some guys are playing with guys that they wouldn't normally play, or they're playing with guys they've never played with before. But, yeah, this team needs to score goals. Last year, 5-on-5, the Blues were not a good scoring team. So they need to change that if they want to have any shot at being a playoff team. You got to score goals, obviously. And I'm not concerned right now. If the goal totals stay low like this throughout the entire preseason, then, yeah, that's going to be something that will be a topic of discussion. But, yeah, they got to get the offense going.
Just want to bring this text up real quick because I think I was laughed out of the building when I said this earlier. But this is from the 618. You could move Arenado over there since you are stuck with his contract and put Walker back to his natural position at third base.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that.
I didn't text that in either.
What are your thoughts, Carey?
Whatever
Since you've given
best.
us so much information.
Yeah,
here.
whatever works best. We're a team player. It's all about the team, winning games. Whatever it requires.
This is terrible.
Put it in. We play right field, center field.
Carey, you've given up on Jordan Walker. I can see it in your face.
He got 2 doubles today.
I remember Carey Davis, Anthony, and you remember that one too. And
here's the thing.
His eyes would get big, and he would pound on the desk. He was always pounding.
Yeah.
And
the hands would get flying.
and because
he's an Italian.
He believed in Jordan Walker, and now he doesn't even care where he plays.
No, I do. I just care that he bats. We'll figure the rest
So
out.
DH?
Fine by me.
DH.
You got too many catchers on the team and too many DHs on the team as it sits right now.
I feel bad for you. Because when you're this sad, I feel bad for you.
You can put Burley in right field.
Yeah.
Let Jordan DH.
Yeah.
Until he comes back and plays his natural position.
Which is?
Third base.
Oh, so now you want him at third base?
Well, no, I'm just saying that we got a third baseman who was excited earlier about looking forward to next year.
With the Dodgers.
Probably.
Just saying, you can move him across the diamond.
I wonder how that would go.
He would tell you to go fast lane yourself.
Really? Did Miguel Cabrera go tell his coaching staff to go fast lane themselves when he got moved to first base?
Probably.
Well,
what's the difference?
How many Gold Gloves did Cabrera have?
Not as many as Arenado. How many Gold Gloves does Arenado have in the past 2 seasons at third base?
How many did he have in the previous 10?
10.
How many of those were not with the Cardinals?
6, 7, 8.
He can only win the Gold Gloves when he's here.
He can't win a Gold Glove for the Cardinals when he's a member of the Rockies, Marsh.
Says who?
Major League Baseball, for one.
Okay. Just checking.
We got a text from the 314. This team was built by idiots.
Wow.
Well,
did they do it in all caps?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, it was.
I love when you do that voice because it reminds me when you
Tony
said
Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
It's so dead on. It's so perfect. Tony Stark.
That got Mike Ryder laughing.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Built us in a cave. Well done, Marsh.
And it was in all caps, Jeremy.
It wasn't.
I saw that.
That's for emphasis.
I
Screaming
respect
it.
No, but Marshy read it properly.
He did.
Respect
Absolutely.
the game.
Yeah.
It didn't say Jeff Bridges' voice, but
No, but you added that.
that's what I'm doing.
And I think that it was, quite frankly, perfect.
It didn't say that, but it also didn't not say that.
That's true.
Yeah, good call.
That is very true.
Question number 4.
From the 314, if Jordan Carey has the same season he did last year, do you think his contract is a mistake?
Point of game player. What did he have last year? 70 points or something like that? I don't think his contract is a mistake. Especially if he's tickling, 35 to 40 goals per season. I don't know how you can consider that to be a failure per se. I'm going to pull up his numbers here. Yeah, he had 31 goals, 67 points in 82 games. A little bit off of his pace of the previous 2 years. If Jordan Carey is getting you 70 to 80 points and he's scoring 35 to 40 goals a year, I mean, that contract is going to be right in range. Give it a couple of years. When some players who are putting up 55 and 60 points are getting $8 million a year, and Jordan Carey will still be stuck at that $8 million. So it was probably an inflated deal for the Blues on the front end of this, but by the time it gets to the back end, Jordan Carey will still be producing, and he'll be playing for an amount of money that's probably pretty common in the NHL at that point.
Question number 5.
From the 314, do you really think other businesses don't operate like the Pirates?
No, I actually, I can tell you right now, the successful businesses don't operate like that. You don't, in any business that you run, if you own a restaurant, if you own a company, if you own a sports franchise, your employees figure out who you are. Mm-hmm. It's the bottom line. Like, you can work at a restaurant and you know that the owner is not a good person, and that usually affects the business. You get a business where people care about their employees, and it doesn't mean that they always just let them do whatever the hell they want. No, they hold them accountable, and they coach them, even if it's just a normal business. You're coaching people all the time to do it the right way. You take care of them. You care about their families as well. That, to me, is how you run a business the right way. To when your people show up to do their work, and they want to perform above and beyond what they actually can do because they want to do well for you. You don't have that in the Pirates. Those guys don't care at all about the ownership. They probably hate the ownership. And this stuff that happened with Rowdy Tellez, just another black mark on the Pirates' ownership. So some businesses do operate like that, but those are the ones that people, they quit, they move on, they go to other places. I'm a big believer in the best businesses are run by good people.
How does their ownership group look down the street and be like, yeah, we're in the same conversation as the Steelers and the Penguins? Like, how could you not be embarrassed by that?
Yeah, I'm with you. There's no pride. There's absolutely no pride. Carey, you're there.
They make good money, don't they?
Yeah.
That's all that matters to some people.
No pride.
Question number 6.
All right, we'll wrap up this Jordan Walker conversation here. And this is a valid question from the 636. Does anybody know if Jordan Walker is even good at third base?
No.
He was drafted from there.
He was drafted there, but
so
no.
At least there's probably a comfort level, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But he's never played third base in the majors, which is why I want to put him at first base.
I would like to. So I will answer your question.
Oh, wow, he's back.
Oh, okay.
I had to stand up, gain some.
Carey Davis,
a little blood flow?
A little bit. All the right places. I would
Jamie.
like to see.
What?
Unbelievable.
He perked up.
Carey, you were trying to say something?
To see him. I would, if he could play first base, if you are going to move on from Paul Goldschmidt, I've been saying all along, I think that they will not. I think he'll be back. But if you are willing to move on from Paul Goldschmidt and you want to try him at first base and see if he can do that, I think that would be good. I think it'd be a good spot for him. I think it would be a really not a lot of stress, like fly balls flying out to you in the middle of the day or at night. A lot of lights, sun, things in your face, can't see.
It's a tough position, don't get me wrong, but there is a certain level of simplicity to first base too.
Yeah. Agreed.
The Rockies left fielder did the exact same thing that Jordan Walker did.
Twice, I think.
He did, and literally.
At least it was,
the
unless
ball
it was
went right off his glove.
How bad that team is, though.
Well, yeah. They just tied you, by the way, 8-8.
It's like Kai
Because the Cardinals are so
the Rockies have just tied the game, by the way. It is now 8-8.
Well, the Cardinals wanted to set it up for Housley to get a save.
Did they?
I don't know.
Okay. They could have done so with a 3-run lead, too.
I know, Anthony. They like the drama, though.
Okay. They're like us. Speaking of drama, there's more NIL drama in college football. That's next on 101 ESPN. The Cardinals now trail the Rockies.
What?
Yeah.
What are you guys
Remember
doing?
when Pedro Pajes hit the home run?
I walked out of here for 2 minutes.
And it literally took the Rockies 2 minutes to grab the lead. So the Rockies are now up 10-8 on the Cardinals. 10-8. That elusive winning season.
Can't have nice
Cardinals.
things.
No, you can't. You absolutely cannot. There seems to be some more drama in college football regarding NIL. USC defensive lineman Bear Alexander plans to redshirt the remainder of his season and enter the transfer portal. This following the decision, of course, by the UNLV quarterback to do the same thing in regards to NIL. Michigan four-star prospect quarterback Jaden Davis has entered the transfer portal, electing to use his redshirt season due to, quote, end quote, NIL concerns, according to a CBS Sports report. Major loss and a shakeup amid major NCAA change. UNLV's running back has also decided to use his redshirt junior season. He out, although he says that he never took a dime from the UNLV collective and that wasn't a decision that was based in NIL money, more about opportunity. But when you look at this, guys, this seemingly has opened the floodgates now. What I mean by this is the UNLV situation seemingly opened up the floodgates when it comes to players maybe entering the transfer portal.
Yeah, it's just something new that's happened. Now that one player has done it, now everybody else, he did that. I didn't even know we could do that.
That's an option?
Yeah, I can still do that? Okay, I'm going to do that.
Right.
You know how I feel about all of this stuff. I have been very vocal to the point where I don't like all the transfers. I don't like players just picking up and leaving. The way I would have had it done is you're allowed one-time transfer, just in general, like anytime you want, or you can transfer or enter the transfer portal if the coach that recruited you is no longer there.
Sure.
There you go. That's it. We're done here.
Yeah. Choose wisely, kids.
It puts a little bit of onus back on the athlete. Now I just feel, Carey, like it's a free-for-all. The athletes are just in and out of the portal. They're jumping schools here. Now they're red-shirting. Like, it's the Wild West that nobody seems to have total control over.
So I look at it differently because I feel like it's like any other job. If you chose to walk out on your job today because you wanted to go work elsewhere, no one would be pissed off. I mean, the people that you work with might be upset, but you're doing what's in your best interest. It's your decision to choose where you want.
I signed a contract, Carey.
And if you got a job, if you got a job and we're able to buy out said contract, because coaches do it all the time, somebody ponies up millions of dollars to buy out a coach so they can go elsewhere. Like if you were able to go elsewhere without any repercussions or any penalties, and that's what you wanted to do, and that's anybody in the workforce. If they find a better job and they want to choose and they choose to go elsewhere, no one bats an eye at it. But because they're younger players, now there's also a flip side to it. Buyer beware, because you know if that player is coming to your program and he left his team high and dry in the middle of the season on a 3-0 team, you can look at it and say, it might not be that trustworthy of a player. And then the other side of that, another side to it is some of these players that are going into the transfer portal, there are more players in the portal than there are spots. So a lot of these guys go in there with high aspirations, high goals, and then end up at a lower level than they were. I've talked to coaches that, a kid was starting at a Big 12 school, decided to jump in the transfer portal, going to an SEC school, and then he wasn't playing. Didn't play at all, was not seeing the field at all. He's like, I don't know why the kid left. He was going to go to the NFL from here. Like, those are some of the things that you run into. I talked to you all about earlier. Another kid I know in the transfer portal didn't realize that, he didn't get picked up. Didn't realize that when he went back to school, the school that he was at, he was no longer on scholarship. Mom got a bill in the mail and panicked, freaked out. What is this? Your son is no longer on scholarship. So there are repercussions. There are things that happen, and these are young people that are making adult decisions. And the best hope that I have is people that are with them, that are guiding them, that are showing them, hey, this is the best decision for you right here. You probably shouldn't do that. But at the end of the day, it's their right to make that decision. Some people might not like it. You might not like all of the shuffling and all of the shifting, but people change their jobs every day, and this is essentially your job. You are using this job to catapult you to a better job, which pays more money in the NFL.
Yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to get to here is taking some of the chaos out of it. Because, and I'm not saying the players can't transfer. In the model that I propose, the player is allowed a one-time transfer, just for whatever reason, because he wants to go to a different team, doesn't like his playing time, whatever. So it's not like you're forbidding him. He's allowed a one-time transfer, and if the coach gets fired or leaves, you're allowed to transfer. So now it's supposed to be 4 years of your life. If you go to one school for a year and then you transfer to another school, like you're already 50% done with your college career. So to me, bouncing all over every school in NCAA, it just gets to be, I think it's too much. And I think it's created this animal now. Like the ability to just jump like from school to school, it's created this animal of like, there is no like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no
stability.
No, when you're committed to something, there's no
commitment.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. There's no real commitment by the players anymore.
It's not. It's a mercenary thing. Like it has become that. But you also have to. Here's the other part that I think people need to understand. Like some of these players, every one of these players that are jumping from school to school are not going to the NFL. Like they are not going to see $10 million contracts or, $200 million in a career or $5 million per year based on the position that they're playing. This might be the only chance, the only bite at the apple that they do have. So if I'm hot right now and there are teams that want to pay me $200,000, $500,000, $50,000 where I'm getting nothing, I think it's unfair for people to say, well, you shouldn't do it. You can't go because there's a coach that's going to go from a school. He's going to sign a contract. He's going to be there for 2 years, and then he's going to go to another school because he performs so well. That's 3 schools in 3 to 4 years. Nobody's going to say anything about it. No one's going to complain and say, you signed a contract, sir. You should own up to nobody. No, it's not going to happen. So this is no longer – they should not be looked at as amateurs because they are no longer really amateurs. They are young men, and we're specifically talking about football in this case. They are young men that are getting opportunities to advance their career and make more money. And I don't know how people would be upset about somebody advancing their career and making more money. I understand the stability part, the commitment part, but that's on all sides. People jump jobs if you get a job that is going to pay you $100,000 more than the current job you have, I would find it very hard for a person to say, nope, I don't want to do it. I made a commitment here. The hell with that $250,000 that other job is offering me. It's not going to happen.
No, I understand. I just don't like it, and I never will. And I guess the word I was looking for is loyalty or allegiance.
There you go.
Text line helping me out here a little bit. I was like, commitment. I was like, no, I just said that.
Yeah.
You sound like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, the text line's there for you. Carey and I were not. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
There for you, Jamie.
You guys are here for me.
We wanted to be there for you, but we just couldn't.
We all tried, guys.
Yeah, we certainly did. So Katie Wu was on with BK and Ferrario yesterday, and one of the things that they asked her was whether or not Mo will be making the decisions on the roster this offseason. What she said, not surprising. What she said also might frustrate you. That's next on 101 ESPN. 703, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and H. Marshall, Anthony Stalter. Katie Wu, who covers the Cardinals at The Athletic, was on BK and Ferrario yesterday. And one of the questions that the guys asked her was whether or not Mo will be making the decisions on the roster this upcoming offseason. Here's what Katie Wu responded with.
My speculation is yes. Do I think that there could be a transition period throughout the season? Again, this is just my speculation. I don't know for sure. I could also see that route. I don't think there is a time in 2025 where we see someone besides Mo as the president of baseball operations. It doesn't mean that how the Cardinals do things is it going to stay the same. You know, we could see a ton of changes. They've alluded to it before. I mean, you know, there's got to be something at the end of the season where they address these changes in full. So while I can't really definitively say, I would be shocked if Mo is gone in 2025, but I do think they might be changing how they structure the dynamic in the front office.
Not surprising what Katie Wu said there. And again, to reiterate, BK asked her if she speculation, will Mo be the one calling the decisions in the offseason? And she said yes. That's her basically her best guess. Yes. But there could be a transition during the season. To me, guys, this would be the way the Cardinals would do it. It's safe, it's pragmatic, it's not reactionary. It is very, very slow moving. It is, hey, Mo's been here a long time. We're going to ease him out of the front office job and ease the next guy in, which is fine if the house wasn't burning down. That's where I'm at.
Moving a little bit of sense of urgency.
We need the firefighters.
A little bit here.
Yeah, we need the firefighters.
We got cups of water dousing the
right.
Dixie cups.
It'll get done eventually, fellas. Come on, just stay at it.
The Cardinals have gone to the bathroom, right, and they've got the mask on or something covering the face, and they're grabbing the Dixie cups, and they're just slinging water. We got this. Somebody needs to step up. The firefighters need to come in, get the house completely doused, cool down, and then we can do not the autopsy, but what's done after the fire. It's called son of a.
What are they? The arson?
No, they've got the they come in. The whole department.
Yeah, it's a whole department that comes in. Backdraft.
Activate. What?
Never backdraft?
Nah.
No. Backdraft is when it
sucks it in.
Sucks it in and out. My grandfather was a firefighter, and a backdraft tossed him across the street on a car.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
That's not good.
What's it called? Anyways, somebody needs to come in and do the inspection report and start over. That's my opinion. Now, that's not what the Cardinals are going to do.
Investigation?
Because I'm sure. It's not that, but whatever. But when it comes to like what Katie Wu said, guys, like doesn't that seem like a Cardinals thing to do? A slow process, slow in, slow out.
So here's where I am with it. Like I always try to put myself in people's situations, right? Just kind of to maybe feel like what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And if I sit here and I put myself in John Mozeliak's shoes, like he has to know, like it's time.
Yeah.
Like I would get up tomorrow morning or on Monday morning, and I'd call a meeting with the DeWitts and say, "Hey guys, listen, I'm passing it along here.
Right.
I want to stay with the team. I would like to fulfill my last year with the team.
Yes.
In any way possible, but I don't want to be in charge of baseball operations anymore."
Mm-hmm.
And I want to have the press conference, and I want to tell Cardinal Nation that I'm stepping aside.
Go fast.
No. That I'm stepping aside, and then I'll, that you guys can then introduce, who you would like to have president of baseball operations. A couple of reasons for that. One, what is Mo really going to gain by one more year of baseball operations president? Like what? So if they make the playoffs, so what? No one's like. But people will remember that Mo had enough instinct to know that it wasn't working and that he stepped aside for the betterment of the team. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather that be your legacy than to have your legacy be like, well, thank God that contract's over. Thank God you're rid of that guy.
Right.
So, I don't know. I just think that I would pass along, even if it meant I didn't get paid. Like, I know it's hard to turn away money, but your legacy sometimes can be more important. And right now, John Mozeliak's legacy, I think, for me, not for me, but for him overall, like, it's damaged. It's tarnished right now.
I think that would be based off of two things. One, him walking away would be based off him thinking he's doing a bad job. Like, he would have to think, yeah, this is not a good job. I haven't done a good enough job. I'm going to step away. I'm going to step aside. And then the flip side of that, if you're talking about legacy and he does know he hasn't done a good job, why would I want that to be my legacy? I'm going to ride this thing out one more year and say, to hell with it. I'm going to give it the best shot I got. So, in my opinion, in either one of those views, either he doesn't think he's done a bad job and there's no need for him to leave now. Why the hell would I leave? I got another year. I've been doing a bang-up job. You see these boys? We had 10 games more than we lost last year.
Yeah.
We're doing great. Or I ain't been doing great and I ain't walking out like that. Mm-hmm. So it's to me, I don't see a path where he just steps aside and says, I'm done doing this. I don't think he listens to us, idiots like us. I wouldn't. I would call us idiots. I don't listen to those. What the hell do those guys know? Those guys know nothing about my day-to-day job. I don't care about what they say. I wouldn't listen to the fans. I wouldn't listen to people that are not in those rooms with me. I would be so dialed into what I'm doing. I don't care what other people say. So I don't see him walking away or stepping aside until his contract is actually done.
I'm starting to fall in line with Carey just because this is a group of people that thought that the past 2 seasons had a good roster.
Right.
What the hell do they know?
Which is to Jamie's point. Like, Jamie's point overall is that you look at it and say, yeah, I haven't gotten the job done. I want to fulfill, like Jamie said. He said it perfectly. I'm going to fulfill the rest of my contract. I'm going to play this thing out, but I can't be the one that's in the president of baseball operations role anymore. You have, like...
That's like an admission of guilt that you...
Sure.
So what?
So what
No,
at this
I
point?
agree. I don't think he ain't going to do that.
Like you just said, Martian, you're absolutely spot on. These rosters, you really think these are the good rosters?
Yes.
And we all fell for it.
Yes.
Why? I'll tell you why. Because they're the Cardinals.
He believed that.
The product does no longer match the brand. The brand is better right now than the product. That's a fact.
100%.
The brand is better.
Yeah.
Because the brand is still like, Amsinger and everybody. Wow, what's up with the Cardinals? Mm-hmm. We've seen it.
Yeah.
They're not good enough.
They don't pay attention.
They're not good enough, but the brand is strong, man. The product's not there. I won't go as far to say as they're like the Cowboys, but think that way.
At least the Cowboys make the playoffs. Now, do they lose every year in the playoffs? Of course. But that's their brand.
But the brand is stronger than the actual product. Freaking Bears won in 1985. Everybody's still like, Bears are a good franchise. No, they're not. It's a cheap-ass organization that can't find a quarterback or ruins quarterbacks. But the brand is strong. Like, that's where we're at with the Cardinals right now. Let's just be real about it.
Yep.
The brand is strong. Product's not. And they keep thinking like, well, the brand's going to be fine. We'll just keep everybody's just going to keep showing up.
Well, that's why I'm like, I've been saying this the past few weeks that I think they will make changes. Now I'm just starting to wonder, like, are those changes, whatever they are they going to be good changes? Because this is the group of people that thought that the past 2 seasons had a good roster.
Right.
So what kind of changes are they really? Yeah, what are they making?
If it's going to be Mo again, I think we're going to run this. Run it back, baby.
I think that somebody knew.
Another round, please.
As much as you're saying, Marshy, and I understand that this is the group of people that put this mess together. The one guy at the top of the food chain had the final decision on all of it. Mm-hmm. All right. And so I think whoever would be the next in line, like, yourself, you've walked into other jobs after somebody and you change things right away. If they failed at the job, you look at what they did wrong and you fix it. And at least you put your stamp on it. So I don't think the Cardinals, if they change a president of baseball operations, I don't think they run it back with the same group. Like, I think that whoever comes in changes the things he can change. Some of it you can't change. Some of the guys that are in your middle of your roster, you can't necessarily change those things. But you can move on from Goldie. You can move on from Arenado if you want. If he wants to move on, you can move on from Lynn and Gibson and Michaelis. Like, you can do a lot of things to make that team your own.
I agree with you. I wonder if Mo is still going to be here. I wonder if they're looking at the wrong things to change. They're like, well, we know we need to change the scouting director. The guys that you brought in have been fine. The problem is you don't know how to develop them.
Yeah.
Like, are you changing the right things? Do you even know what the problem is?
That's the biggest. I think that's
the big question.
And I think that if Mo doesn't know that he's part of the problem, that's an even bigger issue.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We've got our NFL Week 4 Pick'em Challenge picks next on 101 ESPN.
Get ready to pick 'em. It's the Fastlane Football Pick'em Challenge on 101 ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick 'em.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Time for our NFL Week 4 Pick'em Challenge picks. It's all refreshed by Bud Light. That is our Rizzuto Show Fastlane Pick'em Challenge, where we are up 3-0. 3-0.
Keep it going.
Let's go. We are the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, no.
Led by Will Levis.
Ew.
Yeah. Ew. All right, guys. Start off with tonight's game. Cowboys, Giants. This, to me, was, even though they won last week, they beat the Giants and the Cowboys lost, this was still a layup to me. This was the Cowboys. I didn't think twice about it. If you look at some of the numbers in previous matchups between these two teams, Giants are 1-7 with Daniel Jones as their starter against the Cowboys. Cowboys are 12-2 with Dak Prescott as their starter against the Giants. That includes 12 consecutive wins. Giants are 1-13 in primetime games with Daniel Jones as their starter. 0-4 on Thursday, 0-3 against Dallas. Like, I got the Cowboys. This has been ownership here.
Yeah, I got the Cowboys here. If the Cowboys lose tonight, Dallas is.
Oh, they're in trouble then.
Dallas is going to be a fun place to keep eyes on for the next coming weeks because Mike McCarthy could be up out of there.
Oh yeah,
which is crazy. Dak Prescott has never looked better than under Mike McCarthy.
No.
Numbers wise.
Oh yeah. Then they got my Steelers the following week. That's my laugh. Yeah. My villain laugh.
Now, Marsha, you gave heavy consideration to the New York Football Giants tonight.
Well, of course. Now, am I picking them? Absolutely not.
Okay.
No, but it's tough to not look at what Malik Neighbors is doing. Guys, like, statistically, he's the best wide receiver, I believe, in the NFL right now, like, statistically.
Yeah, he's balling.
If not in the top three.
Yes, he has been absolutely outstanding. If you've seen Malik Neighbors, if you haven't seen him because you're like, I'm not a Giants fan, I don't care. But with Malik Neighbors on the field, I'm trying to get some numbers here.
He's second in receptions, I think fifth in receiving yards.
Yeah, he collected 8 of 12 targets, 78 yards, and 2 touchdowns last year. First player in league history with over 20 receptions and 3 touchdowns in the first 3 games. Leads the league 6 catches of 20 yards or more.
Somebody's throwing him that football.
Danny Dimes. Told you all he was going to be good. You didn't believe me.
Jamie, these two guys, boy, they were spot on about Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes.
Put your money where your mouth is,
tonight, though.
Huh?
But
not tonight.
Tonight. All right, guys.
Yeah,
biggest,
watching you.
I see you.
Your biggest upset of the week.
Huh?
Your biggest upset of the week. How far are you? I mean, there's been a huge upset every single week.
You all aren't going to like mine.
Okay.
Because it's your favorite team, Anthony. Kansas City Chiefs losing to the Los Angeles Chargers.
The Falcons are my favorite team.
No, the
Chiefs are my team.
Anthony, it was a time
2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's what I remember. I can't remember after
my
that.
Super Bowl team.
They are your team.
Super Bowl team.
Okay, they're your AFC team. How about that?
Super Bowl team.
They're your AFC team.
Chargers? You got?
Yeah, I got the Chargers.
How come?
Panthers over the Bengals.
Okay.
That's a hell of a
spicy.
When you sell it,
Are you really taking them?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Here I am. Yeah. No, I think the Chargers have a chance.
Do we ever, besides Marsh, does anybody just actually take an upset that we like?
No.
Marsh is the only one that goes out on a limb on Sundays.
Marsh has got shot in the ass
that's why he's gotten shot twice.
I'm not going there. Marsh sold himself on some things.
He's okay. I would say the Chargers. Derwin James not playing. He is suspended for the game for targeting from last week. So that does create a little bit of scare for me. Your safety not being one of your best players on defense.
What small upset are you actually picking?
I like the Chargers. If I'm
you're going to put the Chargers in your pick'em.
No.
Thank you. What upset are you actually picking?
Okay, let me look here.
Let me
look. See.
For example, the Saints. The Saints are going to beat the Falcons. They're a 2.5 point underdog. I don't believe in any other big underdog.
I got one. I picked the Browns over the Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 2.5.
There you have
I picked the Browns outright.
All right.
But the Chargers is a better.
Yeah, but you're not actually going to do it. I asked for your upset of the week.
Yeah, that's like me saying the Giants are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
And then
I believe that. Do I Like, I don't believe that.
This is what I'm saying.
Okay, look, for example, like last week, I was like, hey, I wouldn't be shocked if the Panthers won. And they did. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if the Giants beat the Cowboys. Am I picking them? No.
It's not good enough, though.
Not good enough. Not even close.
Are the Cardinals an underdog in the Commanders game? I think they are, aren't they?
No, they're the favorite. And that's actually the game that I have. I have the Commanders upsetting the Cardinals, if you want to look at it from a line standpoint.
There you go.
I may have picked the Commanders as well. I got to look and see.
So I picked the Ravens, but is anybody taking Buffalo? Because that would be an upset.
I am.
All right, so that would be a small upset.
I took the Bills.
All right.
Nah.
That was better, guys.
Sorry. We didn't understand the game.
Well, let's hang on a second. Does that
Anthony just made that up?
He just did it.
I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years. I've never listened to, like, I don't use my own picks when I do this. No.
He never said anything before.
It's the Pick'em Challenge.
He forced us.
I'm on your team, Anthony. That's the name of the segment. NFL Week 4 Pick'em Challenge.
Yeah.
And you're like, I could see. No, what did you pick?
I don't think we've never done it that way.
We've intended
You're like
to
the
do
guy that goes to the games and boos everybody. That's you.
You know what? I'm going to sit beside you and boo you for 9 innings straight.
You already do that 4 hours every day.
Every time he moves, boo.
Boo this man. I'm glad that you're awake. Marsh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I think we've been doing that, and we just have assumed.
Why, am I sleepy today?
No.
I think we've assumed that Jamie, what he's been saying, is what he actually picks.
That's true.
And then
I'm just calling
Monday
him out
rolls
now.
around, and he's like, "Well, Jamie, I thought you had this pick." He goes, "No, I just said that." We're like, "Okay."
So, Jamie, you're right. That's the way you've been operating
so leave
in
me
this
alone,
segment.
okay?
That's what I did week 1 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like Carey and I getting on Gridiron, guys. What was the? Oh, we could see the Patriots beating the Jets. We could see it, and then neither of us picked the Jets or the Patriots. All right, lock of the week.
I mean, I wanted to say the 49ers over the Patriots. So many injuries.
I will say that. That's got to be the lock.
Like a lock.
It should be. The Texans should be a lock against the Jaguars, but it's a divisional game.
The Jets should be a lock over the Broncos, too.
Probably the Packers over the Vikings.
Or the Saints or the Falcons. Actually, that's my pick, Saints or the Falcons.
Steelers over the Colts.
Lock.
I don't think there is a lock this week.
No? Not even the Niners over the Patriots?
Niners over the Patriots.
That's a pretty good lock there.
It's probably
that's as
most likely lock.
Because something makes me nervous about Houston and Jackson.
I was just going to say, I think that's probably a lock. Is it because we just crapped all over Trevor Lawrence earlier today?
Yes. That's correct.
Something to do with how it works.
All right. There's a lot of these, but the matchup that's keeping you up, the one that you might flip-flop 800 times.
That is the Bills-Ravens for me. Bills-Ravens and the Saints and the Eagles-Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm. Those are two good ones.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the Rams and Bears are giving me a little pause. I got the Bears right now.
What?
I know.
Why?
I know.
I have the Bears, too.
At home.
Have you guys watched Caleb Williams play football?
I have.
They've been getting incrementally better each week, though.
Like an inch, like a half of an inch better.
Half inch
every week.
Which is a tough scene.
That adds up.
It really is. It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would say the Commanders and Cardinals for me because I do like the Cardinals. I do.
Yeah.
No, you guys are.
It's not me. That guy.
You guys. I do like the Cardinals, but after I watched the Commanders over the weekend, I mean, was it Monday night? Yeah. When I watched them Monday night, I was really impressed with Jaden Daniels and what they were able to do. So, I don't know. That's the one for me.
I mean, does it really matter? I'm going to get shot on Tuesday.
That's not true, Marsh.
I like your attitude.
It's not your turn. It's Gary's turn. Or BK's. Remember we talked about Jamie the rotation.
Rotation.
We got a rotation.
So it goes Carey. I'm sorry. It goes me, then Carey,
then
me
either
again, and then
you,
Carey.
and then no. Then BK.
Okay, then BK. Okay.
And then you.
Why do I have to be
and
the
then
next one up?
CD, and then you, and then
Because
BK.
they are trying to keep themselves from being punished.
That's not true. We're a team, and there's a rotation.
If it's a team, then we all
Seems like there's a lot of clicks on this team.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, every player has a role on their team.
Thank you. Yeah.
You said yes the other day. You said you're the glue guy.
And
I am,
and you have
Yeah,
been.
the glue guy gets shot for the team.
All right, you know what? That's fine. I'll take the shots. As long as we keep winning, I'll be a team player.
That's the
go.
Andrew
That's
Marsh
the
that I
attitude.
There we go. I'll do
Until
it.
he's at 5 shots and he's like,
Hey.
I can't
And
do it
Carey
anymore.
shooting you in the back of the neck.
As long as I don't get hit in anywhere
back.
but the buttocks, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, Carey shot a little high.
It was an
He
accident.
got all
other
fired
day.
up.
It was
Shot Marsh right in the spine.
It's just to the right of the spine.
Good thing it wasn't a direct spine
No,
hit.
it'd be bad.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do some other predictions. Maybe Carey, for you, we'll get into like some spread predictions tomorrow. So then you can talk about.
Well, tomorrow's Freedom Friday, so
that's right.
We don't
Yeah.
get to choose. They got to tell us what we get to talk about.
You're right.
If you got fantasy
Freedom
football,
Friday. Anyway,
teams players you want us to help you with,
Anything at all that you'd like to talk about.
that's right.
You want to talk about the fire burning this Cardinals organization down and why they're
Dixie
only using
cups.
Dixie cups?
Yep. Whatever you want. Okay, we've got biggest question of the day next on 101 ESPN. Jamie, when it comes to our guy Stewie, you know better than anybody that when you're looking for a home and you're looking for a loan with not only a great rate, but somebody that's going to take care of you throughout the process of the loan up front, and then also checking constantly on what the Federal Reserve is doing and how that impacts your rate. There's nobody better than our guy Stewie.
Yeah, and let me tell you from my personal experience right now, purchasing a home in the moment and using Stewie to help me out. I've bought many homes, being traded a lot, moving around over the place. You buy some houses. It has never been this easy. And it's because Stewie has basically held my hand the entire way. And it's been an awesome experience. And he's got the Bagel loan, his creation, that if you borrow over $200,000, there's no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, no closing costs. So Stewie did that for me. He also had that one program where he shaved off half a point of the interest rate before the Federal Reserve, like way ahead of everything for me. Now we're in the home stretch and things are just been so easy. So I recommend Stewie to absolutely everybody who's listening right now. Call him on his personal cell phone number. He will answer or he'll get back to you as quick as he can. That number's 314-324-4440.
Again, that number's 314-324-4440.
Yeah, call him. You won't regret it. I'm telling you right now. Give him a call. He is the best at it, and he's going to treat you just like he did me. And if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can he do?
You can always Google the Bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Don't settle for trading your car, truck, or SUV at a dealership. Get full retail value without the retail hassle at sellmycarstl.com. With a new convenient location on Manchester Road in Baldwin, that's sellmycarstl.com.
Start your mornings with the opening drive on 101 ESPN. Get in the know first on everything St. Louis sports with Brooke Rimsley, Dan McLaughlin, and Randy Carricker. The opening drive, weekday mornings from 7 to 10 on 101 ESPN.
The opening drive is presented by Sumner One.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals, well, they lost today 10-8 to the Colorado Rockies, unable to pull off the sweep. Some would say that the Cardinals avoided the sweep. The Cardinals, unfortunately, do not get the win today, but if you missed anything from today's show, including our great conversations about your Cardinals, you can go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our conversations, all of our full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. We have a Blues Instant Replay for you coming up after the show, and that will lead you right into Thursday Night Football. The Giants take on the Cowboys. Pregame starts at 6:30. We have our biggest question of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
It's time for the Fast Lane's biggest question of the day.
Time for the biggest question of the day here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. Go ahead, Marshy.
Yeah, so we've been getting a lot of questions and text about the NIL and college football, and we've had a few conversations regarding NIL today. So we'll head to the text line from the 636. Biggest question of the day. The Pac-12 is poaching Mountain West teams when the Mountain West extended their hand. After all, the other teams left the Pac-12. Do you guys think that the norm is now survival of the fittest? Do you feel like these big changes in the college football world are good for college athletics? Will we see reform to the transfer portal and conference realignment in the next few years?
So here's my take on conference realignment. We'll go there because I think this is a little easier for me to digest than maybe some of the transfer portal NIL stuff, okay? When it comes to conference realignment, I know that I'm going to tick off some of the historic aspects of like college football and all that, but or the historians, I'll say. I don't care about conference realignment. What? We saw Texas go to the Big House. We have seen USC go to the Big House. We're going to get other matchups that we either have never seen or have only seen a handful of times because of conference realignment. We like to think that everything's been perfect up until changes are made. But let's not forget how many dumb matchups or irrelevant matchups that we have seen in college football over the last X amount of decades because you have to have it a certain way. Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, you have to have these teams, right? I'm good with conference realignment. I'd rather see the best teams play as much as possible. I realize you're still going to get some bad matchups, right? So conference realignment, I don't care. I really don't. I don't think you lose anything. You're still going to get Michigan, Ohio State. You're still going to get Bama, Auburn. You're still going to get USC, Notre Dame. You're still going to get those bigger rivalries anyways.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I don't care. I've actually stopped even trying to keep track of who the hell's in what conference anymore. Yeah. I really don't care.
What games are on? That's a fun game.
That's exactly how I approach it. I pull up the schedule, I take a look, and I go, okay, there are 3 or 4 good games. And remember we talked about this last year, Anthony. I always felt like I was never really into college football because I always felt like there's just too many blood donor games, too many irrelevant games that didn't matter. You'd get that one matchup every year if you had a certain team that you watched, and that would be the one game you want to tune in for. The rest, it was like, meh. Last year, a lot of compelling games that mattered. This year, I'm so into it this year because, the expanded playoffs. It's the first step. 2, Mizzou right now is in a pretty good spot. But the matchups that are out there's so many good teams that on a weekly basis, somebody's getting knocked down.
Yeah.
And that's all because of conference realignment, too.
I'm with you.
Not solely because of that, but because you have had that, it has created some of these better matchups.
Yeah, some people have felt, Carey, that Jamie, that the college football regular season gets tainted. Are you kidding me? Nebraska, Illinois was 10 times more interesting last week because those two teams were ranked. They're in, they're fighting for a playoff spot, and you knew one was going to lose.
Right. I think that I'm fine with the conference realignment as well. I love the fact that now you get Oregon playing in the Big Ten, and they're going to be playing up against Ohio State and Michigan. Like you said, USC versus Michigan.
Yeah.
Like you get to see those games that you normally would only get to see bowl season. Yep. And you're going to get home and home. Like you get to see it one year where they're at Oregon and the next year they're at Michigan. Or those things are fun, I think, for college football fans. As far as the NIL goes, do I see it a correction or the market kind of changing? No. I think NIL is here. I think transfer portal is here. Maybe there will be some tweaks to kind of what you said because guys can transfer year after year without penalty, where when I was in college, you could transfer. If you transferred laterally, meaning if you went from one FBS school to another, you had to sit out a year. If you transferred from an FBS to an FCS, you could play right away. If you transferred up, you had to sit out a year. Now you're able to play immediately once you hit the transfer portal and get on campus for another school. Maybe it is a one-time free transfer, and then after that, if you decide to leave again, maybe you do have to sit out. But, I don't have a problem with people doing what's in their best interest. Quinn Ewers went to Ohio State for a year, got paid, and went to Texas. Like, who's complaining? Like, it's an opportunity for these young players to do what's in their best interest. And I think it's frustrating because for decades, we saw players playing and not receiving a dime. And that's just college sports. You get an education. Well, guess what? They still get an education, and they get paid for the play for all of the money that they're bringing in.
They get paid for their likeness.
For their likeness,
right.
but essentially
because of their play.
Of their play.
But I think that's important. Sorry, Carey. I think that's an important distinction, right? Like they're getting paid because they're popular playing that sport, not necessarily paid to perform.
Correct. Because
they can still be popular and get paid.
Yes, because you could be terrible, but be completely liked.
Correct.
And get a lot of money because maybe you do something on social media, or maybe you have a high following on Instagram or one of these social media apps. Like those are things that people are getting paid for as well. So yeah, it's name, image, and likeness. It's this person is good. We want people to know him. We want to use this person to sell cars or sell insurance or roofs or whatever your business is. You're paying that player because that's going to attract people to watch and buy into what you're selling. So
exactly,
I have no problem with it at all. I think everybody should be able to make as much money as they like. Mm-hmm. Nobody should put a cap on how much money a person can make.
Right.
Do you guys still feel the same way when it comes to college basketball?
In terms of the NIL and transfer portal and all that.
All of it.
Here's what I think.
When we think of all this, we think of football, and we don't take in these literally every other sport.
Here's what I think on that, and I think we've already seen it in college basketball, but we're starting to see it in football. Let's not think that just because you have this great transfer portal season, we'll call it, or portal session, that's going to equate to winning. The Dodgers signing Shohei Ohtani and trading for Tyler Glasnow and acquiring Teoscar Hernandez, you're going to make the playoffs. Like, that's guaranteed. Florida State lived and is now dying by the transfer portal. You still need the right players in the right system, coached by the right people. Period. That's the beauty of this. So you may think, well, transfer portal is going to ruin everything. Will it? Florida State was ranked 10th, I think, coming into the year. They stink. All transfer kids. And you know what's going to happen? Those kids are going to bail. And Florida State's going to rue with it. You can't, just because the portal's open, doesn't mean you can't botch it. It's not a computer. We're still talking about human beings here. So I don't think that this is going to be the end of college sports and all that. And I do think, to the nature of the question, I do think the pendulum will start to swing back at some point. And maybe some of these universities go, you know what? We're going to get the kids that are, Jamie, loyal and committed and are going to stay. And we're going to build around that group. And we're going to have chemistry at the end of the year.
Well, and, you take it, like you just said, Florida State, maybe they'll look into maybe recruiting kids instead of
constantly getting
the transfer portal. Like they'll put more emphasis on recruitment, and then getting those loyal guys. You got to find the right guys.
Well, Dabo Swinney's been criticized for not taking advantage more of the transfer portal, and maybe some of that is noteworthy. Since losing to Georgia, they pistol whipped App State 66-20. They crushed NC State 59-35. That's not a bad Clemson team.
They were more against NC State too. NC State got back into that game.
Yeah, garbage time. But you know what I'm saying?
I think again, the transfer portal for me is fine. I don't have a problem with it. If you can go and make money, and you're not everybody is going to the NFL. Now, I'm looking at the young lady Haley Van Lith, who was at Louisville, then went to LSU. She's at TCU now.
Right.
She's making money for NIL, name, image, and likeness. She may or may not go to the WNBA. She may never play basketball again after her collegiate career is done.
Right.
Most people don't go to the pros after their collegiate career is over.
Sure.
The majority of them do not. So if you're able to make money because people know who you are, and you want to transfer to capitalize off of the money that you can make, I see no issue with it.
I'm with you. All right, Jamie's going to get out of here. He's going down to Helen Fitzgerald's. He's going to be there with Learn from 6:30 to 8:30. You can celebrate with Learn and Jamie. Helen Fitzgerald's, Lindbergh in Sunset Hills. The event tonight is brought to you by Bud Light. See you, Jamie.
Thanks, buddy. See you later.
I don't know why you're laughing.
Sometimes we get tied up with things.
Yeah. Like Jamie and his long earphones, his cord. He's got to wrap up. Jamie, don't forget to put it.
Make sure you don't touch that damn those headphones ever. He will come find you.
It's a fast lane on 101 ESPN.
Masyn.
We've got Bet the Board. We've got criticisms, compliments. We have got 3 stars of the day next. You still have an opportunity over the next couple of days while September is going on to fall into savings at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They've got great financing deals going on right now, including 0% APR on select new Nissans like Pathfinders and Rogues, Altimas. They've got over 700 vehicles all in one location, too. So you can check them out online at autocentersnissan.com. That's what my wife Kristen and I did when we were searching for a new vehicle. We saw like 4 or 5 vehicles that we loved online. We went down to Herculaneum. We took the test drive, and, man, we found a great deal on a pre-owned Pathfinder that we love. And you will, too. You're going to find something there. Again, over 700 vehicles all in one location. They give you a 30-day new car return promise within 30 days. If you're not completely satisfied with the vehicle and the purchase, then bring it back and they'll refund your money and then find something else that you're going to like. Complimentary lifetime warranty on new Nissans and eligible used vehicles, and complimentary 1-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases as well. So check them out online, again, like I was saying before, at autocentersnissan.com. But when you head down to Herculaneum, tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan, Herculaneum. Gaslit on 101 ESPN. Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers heading down to Helen Fitzgerald's on Lindbergh and Sunset Hills. He'll be there with Learn 6:30, 8:30 tonight for a little Thursday night football. We should start off with this. If you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. All brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Time to bet the board. Marsh, latest standings. What do you got?
All right, Anthony. Looks like everybody hit yesterday except for you.
I hit.
Did you? I thought
Natasha Cloud, she had 10 assists.
Oh, I was looking at rebounds. My bad.
That's all right.
So you end up getting more points there.
All right. I'm excited.
Carey's in the lead with 11.
Okay.
Jamie and I are tied at 9.
And then I got like 7 or something.
You have 7.
Okay.
You guys know where I'm going. Give me Juan Soto. Hits, runs, RBIs. 1.5. Minus 110. I don't know why I would keep doing that, huh? Trying to figure it out. It's pretty good.
Yeah, you're rolling, kid.
Jamie's taking the Dodgers money line tonight.
Okay.
Dodgers
Guess
money
the
line.
Padres.
No idea. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know why that's not minus 150, but give me Turpin for the Dallas Cowboys over 6.5 reception yards at minus 140.
That's it?
Yeah.
6.5 reception yards?
Yards.
Not catches.
Not catches. Yards.
Oh, come on.
Jacob Ferguson is back. Kind of cuts into his.
6.5. That's one catch.
Yep.
One catch and run. That's a hitch route.
My bad. Did I say minus 140? It's at minus 110. Minus 110.
That doesn't make it better,
No, it
Marcy.
doesn't.
I thought you were going to say, I got it wrong. It is receptions.
No. Receptions, I would have taken the under for sure on that.
Sure.
Give me CeeDee Lamb over 6.5 receptions at minus 135. I think he's going to go off tonight. CeeDee Lamb.
Today.
Yeah. All right, Marsh.
All right, real quick here before we get out of here. 3 stars of the day. Our third star goes to the 6-1 Hate, who just continues to hate on the Blues.
Yeah, he's mad because they're not winning.
He's mad that they haven't won a preseason game.
It really is unacceptable.
It's preseason. Second star of the day goes to the Gyro Ball. Ooh. And, of course, our first star of the day goes to Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher showed up at the halftime.
Mud Dogs
won the Bourbon Bowl. That's right. Absolutely. Talked a little bit about that earlier today and how that's the greatest thing to ever happen in football history. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. We will see you.